Sarah.
You better have left that
Cut
area.
in!
Yeah.
Here we
Well, you say
are!
poo a lot. Poo.
You remind me of my son. That's pretty much my evening entertainment. And you know what? It's hilarious.
I'm someone's son.
It's very funny. Hello, everybody.
Alright.
You're my son.
I thought I was the dad.
That's a twist for the internet.
As long as I can be the granddad, I'm getting quite used to that role.
Yeah.
You'll be the mother.
Hello, children. Hello, children everywhere.
Is that your granddad's voice?
Yeah, yes, it is.
Mike just
What a child.
Call me Granddad Jeff. So yours,
Welcome, everyone. To what I hope is going to be an evening of Dungeons and Dragons, but I've been wrong before. So let's see how we end up, shall we? We are several intrepid adventurers who like to get together and forget about the worries of the world as we play with dice and understand new things and emotions in the land of Asher, a place where magic is illegal, races are dying out, there is some level of peanut butter based snacks, and the world is somewhat a hostile place, but together we'll figure out where the friendship and love really is.
Oh.
Hello, boys. Pink lemonade?
Mom! What is that?
Abandoned.
I hope you enjoyed that little video, which is of none of our current characters. So if you are joining us for the first time, you may be a tad confused. But don't worry.
We certainly are.
If you want to know what happened last time, just check it out on YouTube. Get on there. Check it out for yourself.
There are better D&D channels if you go searching.
But two worse.
Yeah.
There are, of our knowledge, 2 global D&D channels worse than us.
Yeah.
So
We obviously can't say which ones they are.
No, not for legal, not anymore.
But if we listed all the ones that are better than us,
Yeah, you could
then
work it
you
out.
could work it out for yourself.
That's not enough time.
But that's what we're going to be doing tonight.
Not bad, eh?
Yeah, I hope you liked your revision. Lovely. I believe we left last session with a somewhat disgruntled dwarf, or the guilted member of the Creator of Likenesses and Automata, stuck to a magnet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
Well, it was
swinging
his
to and
own
fro.
fault.
And that's where we will rejoin to the sound of... Ah, what are you doing? I'm stuck! I'm stuck to this! What are you doing?
No, listen, friend. There's a few things we need to discuss before we go any further. This finder's fee, that's going to be ours, because, let's be honest, you're stuck to a magnet.
We could always switch it off.
And we were the finders as well. Yeah. I don't think it's an electro.
Oh, is it?
No.
Oh, well, in that case, we won't switch it off.
Well, I'll ask the dungeon master. Is it an electro?
You did notice there does seem to be a lever.
This
Would you
terrible.
like? Shall I go and stand by the lever?
Yeah.
So there are 2 levers. One noticeably was used previously, which
Yeah.
let the magnet drop.
Yeah.
And then it was cranked back up. But there does seem to be another lever.
Okay. You need to tell us a few things.
It could be a really comic scene if we turn it off and then turn it on a couple of seconds later. Turn it off.
That's
Repeatedly.
definitely a dexterity check. And you miss the lever. Oh no!
Oh, yeah. Well,
But then you can send it down, pull the other lever, send it down to catch him up.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
a jostle.
That's a fate worse than death.
Yeah, probably death. We need to find your miner friend, the friend who is a miner.
She's, give me a bit of time on it. Any time to think, you've attached me to a magnet.
Press the lever.
No, wait. Give me a moment.
Nothing like a candle.
Oh, I'm getting tired.
If anything that happens in tonight's episode does offend you in any way, please post it in the comments.
And we'll fucking delete it.
Woo! We're getting banned from YouTube. Second time running.
Don't give him any more wine.
What is in the sauce tonight?
It's just cherry cola, which gets me wild.
Wild.
Oh lordy.
I told you about her already. She's Scotorum.
Sorry?
Scotorum Blazing Axe. So you need to talk to.
And where will we find her?
She's gilded. She's She's in the guild hall.
She lives around here.
No, she's in the guild hall.
Okay. Shall we leave from here? And...
Well, we can't just let him go.
Someone needs to go to the
You
guild.
cannot leave me here and fall.
No, we can do what we do. How we want at the moment. So, no. Shall we go back to the guild hall and try and find this lady?
Guess so.
We need a miner. Are we all up to date in terms of what's happening? There's some shiny crap down there. We need to talk to someone who knows what they're doing. Sweet.
Yes.
See you in a bit.
You cannot leave me here. I'll die.
No.
No, you won't. You're stuck to that magnet. There's no way that's going anywhere.
That's what you think. I knew who made it.
You should have a little bit more faith in your friends.
It's very dark.
Only down there. Oh, that's all you can see, isn't it? Oh, yeah, fair enough.
It's fine, you'll be alright.
You just wait. I know the Enclave will want to hear about this.
You're not really in a position to make threats. I'm just saying.
Braver men than me have died.
Yeah, they have. That's correct. They have. They've died.
Hang on a minute.
Sweet.
Right, let's go to find this.
Can anyone remember what her name was?
I wrote it down.
Something to do with axes.
Scott Orlam, something like that.
Scott
Something
Orlam.
similar to Scott Orlam.
Yeah, we'll go. The guild hall, you say?
Aye, that's where you'll find her.
Guild hall. Right, let's go.
If she's not already drunk, Benny.
Well, you better hope she isn't, haven't you? Shall we? To the guild hall.
There are two ways back to the guild hall. Most of you know one of them, which was through the large anvil room with the blood gullies, name of the famous Asharian metal band. The other one, only one of you knows, which is Thenaeus, who used what he believed to be a servant's passageway back to the gilded hall.
Stop it.
I think we will keep that little bit of information to ourselves right about now and go the main thoroughfare.
What bit of information to yourself?
A quick escape route if we ever need it.
So you head back. So you turn 180 degrees, walk back up through the main thoroughfare, if you will, and it'll bring you out. There was kind of a large stone door, if you remember, that opened outwards. There is, however, one small problem, and that is, if you remember, there was a tiny keyhole in the centre of the door. Said large stone door that would lead back to the animal room is currently locked.
Ah. I did not know there was a keyhole. I didn't come this way.
Yeah, there is.
Okay, I have an alternative route.
We could knock and then maybe someone will let us through.
Good.
Do you try knocking?
Yeah. I'm not gonna. I'm tiny, so someone bigger.
I
Someone
will
bigger
not.
than me,
It's
stronger
these
than me.
huge, thick stone doors that you'll remember from last time. You knock, there is no answer.
I know another way.
Can you open the door for us from the other side? Oh, it's probably a key on the other side as well. That
just going to shout through the keyhole for a bit.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Just abstractly shout.
Yeah. Oh,
No particular answer. You know what's on the other side of this door? It's that large anvil and the blood gully room, as it's known. The blood gully.
Okay,
So
I
messing
will.
around with cables in the background.
I will lead the party towards the
Don't worry.
servants'
I
passage.
feel like I'm about to blow up a balloon any moment now.
Yes, I'll lead the party to the
Okie dokie.
slightly hidden servants' passage. What I found
What you
while I
found
was
on the way here,
exploring.
like. Yeah, so you find your way there pretty easily. You do remember it was in between two. I realise that some of my notes on a slightly smaller device. There
and we're off air.
It's a modern world.
we go. Modern world, the modern DM. I'd lose my brain if it wasn't attached to some kind of digital device. So yeah, in between two of these very large ornate buildings, there's a very small doorway. It's almost impossible to see because it's carved into the stone like much of the others. Until you're there and looking for it, it would have been easy to pass it without noticing. You don't think that's been made that way to be secretive? It was probably more a thing of status, being able to kind of avoid looking at the servants' entrance, if you like. But you do push it, and it will push open, and you follow a series of winding corridors. As you follow the series of winding corridors, you backtrack your steps. You find yourself in another terrace. You've seen this before, none of your compatriots has. You find yourself in another terrace that runs along one side of stone buildings built next to each other, and the service entrance comes out between two of them. Just like you've gone in through between two of them, you're coming out between two of them. They are smaller than their counterparts in the Gilded Hall, but each of them are ornately carved in some way, just to a lesser extent. And you find yourself in the Gilded Terrace. The reason I say one side is because there is about 40 foot of pathway or pavement, and then a sheer drop. And that sheer drop forms kind of a pit that you can't see the bottom of, that almost looks... It's almost like this set of guild halls are looking over a large pit. Or looking over it.
And this runs the whole length of the...
Exactly. It almost reminds you of like a promenade at a seaside. It's kind of built up against this, but instead of the sea, you have this large cavernous expanse. Above you again, you see these minerals and bits of metallic ore, and it's hard to see if they're glowing or if it's just refracting light from some other source, but it creates almost like a skyline above the terrace. And that's where you find yourself. You will notice that if you continue to your left and keep going, eventually you will join back into the guild hall, which is where you all met a series of dwarves and had a conversation about joining the guild.
Hall is this away. Just occurs to me, this... Do you reckon that's as deep as the pit? The hole?
How deep is your pit?
That's a really good question. You want to measure it, or?
No, just curious. Because if this is as deep, then it might have other access to the hole.
Maybe, but it looked like they had a spider problem down there, and it doesn't look like there's a spider problem up here. So
No, true. True. Maybe it is just down on that bit.
I've chucked something. It's... What is it?
It's fine, something. I've just noticed, I've been smelling something. I've had a cologne sample in my pockets.
have you wet yourself?
No, that's what it was. I was like, someone's wearing an aftershave that I own. I was going, like, who's wearing that? And I thought, is that in my pocket? And I popped it, and it's that's what it is. It's annoying
There's a big
me.
wet patch on his trousers.
It was. I had the sample. The lid had come off, and I was like,
It's a perfectly good excuse.
Oh.
Oh dear.
Of course, that would be the case if he was wearing trousers.
I was thinking about removing them and just sitting them outside for a
Get that
bit.
in there.
What?
Your non-trousered leg.
Carry on. Just let them apologise. That's what that is.
If you want to get the continuous
Yeah.
joke, you have to watch last week's
Yeah.
episode as to why we're talking about not wearing trousers.
Yeah.
It's,
I've thrown a tiny test a bottle of aftershave now.
Yes.
It's a silver piece.
It's canon. Yeah, that's what you
Why
know.
do you only shave one leg?
Funnily enough, I do have a bald patch on one leg. I don't know why, but it's smooth.
Last time I used hair removal cream. It's incredibly effective.
It's just on the calf, probably a good hand size, just no hair. But here somewhere.
Is it anything we bring into the room we then have within the game? Is that how the sample works?
Yeah.
Only if it fits in one
Magic.
body, and it's comedic in some way.
Cool.
You throw this silver piece down into the hole. You don't hear anything for a long period of time. Even then, you're not entirely sure you hear anything. Can somebody make me let's go with a perception check. Let's see how good your hearing is. You're actively listening for it.
Stu's going for it.
I've got a +2, I can give it a go. That's 18.
18.
Ooh.
You strain your ears to try and hear the silver piece. You really are straining. It's deathly silent. These halls, you haven't met a lot of dwarves, there's not a lot of noise going on.
There's not a lot of
You
people
can hear
about.
some kind of raucous noise coming from the guild hall. And then you think, almost at the edge of your hearing, you hear a plop.
Oh, must have been the poop from earlier.
That's a long way down, but it sounds like there's water at the bottom.
It would indicate perhaps water at the bottom.
So maybe it is connected.
There's water at the bottom of the hole.
Okay.
Watery hole.
Fair enough.
Well, interesting to note for later, perhaps.
I need to climb down and get my silver piece now.
Welcome to the next 3 hours of the game.
I tell you what, a lot of people would think like a magical infinite rope wouldn't be useful, but like that would be the most OP item you could possibly have. Just saying. That'd be great.
There's not one
Funny you should say. No. Right. Okay, guild hall.
The magical rope of magical ropiness.
You head round the corner. I assume you're all heading to the guild hall. Nobody's going to do anything else.
Round chap.
Cool. In which case, you had along this series of what look like guild houses of various different things. If you stopped and looked, you'd be able to see kind of what they were kind of advertising. Only one of you reads Dwarven, so Alantrix, as you're glancing, you would catch little things.
Is
here and there.
undercommon of any use to me?
Not here. No, you're not going to find any undercommon. Definitely Dwarven. You see, for example, the Guild of Fine Small Items is labelled quite prominently. There's little motifs
Tiny
in the way.
little writing.
The way that the Dwarven runes are laid out kind of indicate the kinds of things they make to do with kind of rings and amulets and kind of small mechanical devices and very small fine objects. You see there's actually a guild library. Doesn't stop you.
No interest.
No interest. Not your kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah, not kind of thing. But there's definitely a guild library and a guild librarian. You will remember you spoke to the guild librarian at one point. There is obviously a mining guild that you walk by that is quite obvious because it has big ornate mining picks on the front. Some weird looking machinery outside, which you probably don't recognise what that is, not being of the mining type unless you stop and investigate it. And eventually you get to the guild hall. Interestingly, there was one other thing you notice, which is the Guild of Wet Nurses. It looks abandoned and has been abandoned for some
I
time.
was going to say, these guild buildings, do any of them look recently used?
Guildings.
Very few of them.
Guildings.
Yeah, very few of them look like they're still occupied.
By very few, any of them.
Roughly, I mean exactly, 6 of them.
Is it the 6 you just mentioned, Mark? Minus the wet nurses.
Minus the wet nurses. Some of the ones I've just mentioned.
It might actually be worth going back there at some point if they're taking any logs or anything on the wet nurses. Get to the bottom of what this whole conception issue is about.
Yes. Should we take one each? 6 buildings, 6 of us.
It's 5 of us.
Yeah.
Ah, yes. He's not here.
I'm just a voice in your mind, Elantrix.
I'm so
You
confused.
hear it too.
It's always the same one though, with strange accents.
We've probably
Do you
got a
want
few
to-
minutes.
Do you want to investigate?
Yeah, I think Elantrix will loom towards the library.
The library. You head up to the library. There's 4 steps that lead up to the front door. To what looks like marble, but on closer inspection, it's actually a rough-hewn stone with some kind of mineral within the inside. You don't know if it's a deliberate forgery, if it's just some kind of cultural thing. It's hard to tell. Again, unlike some of the gilded buildings, there are no windows, and they don't seem to be. There's a large stone door made of a darker stone. You give the door a good push, assuming you actually want to gain entry. It looks locked. You're pretty aware that the librarians in the guild hall right now. It seems the dwarves like locking things behind them.
Okay, fair enough. Turns around.
I'm going to pick one at random, as I can't tell what they are.
Yeah.
I will pick the third one along from the library in the direction of the guild hall.
The third one along from the library in the direction of the guild hall. Okay.
So like the guild hall.
Maybe.
On the way to the guild hall, you go to the library and you're choosing the next
Your son's mother.
one down. Yeah.
Son is yours.
You push open the door, or you try to push open the door. It does feel locked, but it looks like it's occupied, the building you're at. Elantrix, if you stood outside, it seems that this is the Smithers Guild. Now, it's interesting because you know that there is a Smiths Guild. However, you do know there is a Master Smith, or a Forge Master General, who's in the Gilded Assembly as well. This is a smithing guild.
I thought they were just shopping and the guy's hanging on the magnet. I'd be so annoyed.
But again, the door appears to be locked.
Yeah. Given the fact that there's so few of them, they seem very precious about their offices, don't they?
Can we try the wet? Which one is the wet noise?
The Guild of Wetness is back 2 more.
I assume the Elantrix will
The
tell.
guild of witnesses.
Can we just try that door?
You go to push the door, it does open.
Yeah. This one's abandoned. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You immediately hit the smell of kind of. It's almost like a natural cavern smell.
Okay.
So it's not kind of musty or like an abandoned house. It does feel almost like an abandoned cavern. It's kind of the smell that's hit you. It's kind of almost no vegetation, almost the smell of cold, abandoned rock and dust.
Old air.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it does push open. As the door pushes open, it's not lit from the inside. It was obviously lit by braziers and torches at some point because there are 2 large brass braziers in front of you. There's torches that line both walls. You enter into what seems, and you've been in a few dwarven. You've been in one guild house so far, and this is the first guild house you've been into. But it does seem like you're immediately confronted with almost like an office space. There's like a number of stone desks that are hewn out of the floor, and there's 4 of them, 2 on either side. 2 things hit you about the interior dwarven homes. One is symmetry. They seem to be symmetrical. On top of that, they seem to focus on the reception chamber is often business related or trade related, and they don't seem to have almost a reception hall or anything grand. You seem to go straight into what would be kind of a business centre. You almost have this vague impression that in the prime of its life, these rooms were probably teeming with people at work and people like giving their trade and piling their trade. But it is abandoned. There's these 4 stone desks. There's 1 door in the centre of the room behind the desks, and there's one on the left and one on the right.
Felix is particularly looking for like records, like a record room or somewhere where there'd be documentation.
I just thought of records then. I just soon said it. I was like,
Well, they don't have
What?
they don't have computers, so it's probably like a massive file of fax.
yeah.
They probably have a huge room like
Yeah.
that.
Stone drawer.
Yeah, none of the desks seem to have drawers, so it's obviously they took stuff from somewhere else, right?
Nobody's been in here for a long time.
Yeah, so it's super dusty.
Yes, but not like a soft almost collected hair or skin dust. It's like a stone dust, almost like when you break away mason work, you get that kind of horrible dust that settles on everything.
It's like come off all of the brickwork.
Exactly. It seems to accumulate. Not only that, you touch it and it seems to not dissipate. It kind of remains on your hands.
Black bogies for weeks.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Right in your lungs.
Does it make your hands dry?
Yeah. Well, you wouldn't know with the kind of rough pores.
Yeah, that's true.
And if you object to me taking my pants off, it's really distracting, this smell.
Are we in game?
Yeah, in game as well. In game as well.
You can take
As well.
whatever you want off, Rich. It's only going to increase the
Take
viewership.
your smelly soiled pants off.
My smelly soiled pants.
I'd like to introduce you to Rich, the
Going
most
into-
attractive member of the group, as he takes his trousers off for your viewing pleasure.
The bar is late.
Yeah. If we don't get subscribers for this,
I'm sitting in my undies.
Get over there! You can leave your hat on.
Wow.
Take it D&D.
Much better.
it's gone up a level.
If anybody cops a peek of anything, we're all friends.
This is pre-watershed.
And I don't mind.
I was going to say, I can't believe it pokes out.
Roll a D12.
Roll a D. Roll a
Expecting
D3.
an innie?
Finally.
You want
Good
to see
lord.
a button?
I don't. Luckily, these don't have a sleeve. They don't have a sheath. You come out the bottom.
Wow.
Yeah, you can't fish it out like conventional ones.
It's escalated quickly.
I'm
sorry.
so glad to be on this side of the table. I can
Well, funny you should say that.
It's distracting. It was very intense.
Yeah.
I was just sat here. It was very intense.
You are very distracted.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Stop looking down, John.
Wet nurses.
Yeah.
No. I'm going to my happy place.
Meanwhile, back at the plot.
Yeah. Right. We're back in the room.
Oh, no doubt about that.
So you have these stone desks, there's no drawers in them, they're kind of built into the floor. There's a left door, a right door, and a big central door at the back. Again, very symmetrical. You're going to choose a door. Are you just going to keep opening doors until you find something that
I'm going
looks
for
like
the left-hand door.
left-hand door? I like somebody who's going to make an obvious decision.
Yeah.
You open the left-hand door, cleaning equipment mostly.
Right.
Yeah.
I thought it would be.
Yeah, love a good cleaning equipment. Very well ordered, actually.
Is the mop made of stone?
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, the haft is made out of stone.
Okay.
It looks like the base is made out of stone, and then the bottom looks like it's made out of
human hair.
it's made out of some kind of coarse hair.
Oh,
It's
Um,
an
That's
old
from me
beard,
back.
isn't it? It's an old beard they made.
Yeah.
Placid.
but yeah, it's some kind of coarse hair in a stone bucket. It's perfectly ordered, actually. There are small cleaning implements. You notice a lot of brushwork. There's obviously a lot of dust that accumulates in these buildings. So there's a lot of brushwork. Other than that, not a great deal of anything else.
Now the cleaning cupboard.
Also, there's some coal storage in here, which must have been for the braziers. There's a couple of torches, things like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's very tempting while we're here just to have a little brushy room. Yeah.
Is there anything for fancy dress? It's the best place to get fancy dresses, cleaning cupboards.
I thought you were going to say like nurses. Like a
Well,
Well, maybe that could be in there.
Is
You
there
could do
any-
laundry.
Are there
in
any
there.
clothes in here?
Any
Any
laundry?
clothes? There isn't actually.
No.
No.
There's a
laundry.
stone bucket.
There was
I
a
don't know what you could do with
Wig.
that. Oh, yeah.
Is it like all other dwarven furniture where the stone bucket is still attached to the stone?
It isn't actually. The
You
bucket is
can't,
moved.
it's just a...
Yeah, it's moved.
You've got little stone casters on it, bottom of it.
No. Obviously, you have to be pretty strong to be a cleaner in
Yeah.
the dwarven area.
Next door.
Try the other door.
Yeah.
Unless
Door
we're
on
just
the
going to
other
stop the
side.
session here.
You open the door on the other side, and you notice that this was probably locked at some point. It's a stone door. There's two panels to it, and they meet in the middle. As you push it, it almost immediately pushes back. The stonework's very good, but it's just aged some considerable time. It looks as if the lock mechanism isn't quite functioning as it should. The reason you know that is as the door pushes away from you, it's almost impossible to see the hinges of these doors. That's kind of how the craft work works. It's almost built into the wall. It's almost like betrays the mind a little bit to see them moving because they should. It looks like it should be rigid. But as there's more trousers going on.
That's what I was thinking. Join the club.
But as you push it away, you can see some kind of stone bolt lock sticking out, which means that it was probably locked at some point. And then you notice the back where it would catch has actually fallen away over time. So it kind of crumbles as you push it. As you open outwards, push it away from you, this room is fairly large, kind of a 10-foot cube, and stacked in the left-hand corner, the right-hand corner, and kind of intervening spaces are stone discs. They're kind of a foot across and about 2 inches thick, and they're stacked on top of each other in a perfect order. All of them are stacked almost floor to ceiling, apart from the one on the right, which is roughly kind of human or elf chest height.
And Antrix, have you got any text on you? Anything like that?
Yeah, she'll investigate them. Try and work out what they are.
You take a look, and you're exactly right. So written on the face of these stone discs, there's a hole in the middle. And written on the face of these stone discs is some kind of dwarven script, and it travels all the way around the outside of the disc. It seems like some kind of fairly complex way of data storage. They're obviously recording things along the face of this disc around the outside in writing, and where the location of the writing is seemed to infer maybe a period of time, or perhaps
Are they birth records?
you'd have to do some kind of history or investigation check based on your ability to read Dwarven as well.
Okay. Should we do a history if you're happy with that?
Yeah, history's fine.
Is there anything else while she's doing that? Is there anything else in this room, just these
It's
discs?
just piles of discs. That's all it is.
24.
24.
Wow.
You notice the last one is incomplete. It's not filled up in comparison to the others. By almost comparing that to the others, you think that's exactly what they are. They're birth records. They seem to be periods of birth. What is perhaps... I don't want to go into tons of detail, which is it's distressing.
24?
Sorry?
24?
Yeah. But I won't go into tons of detail in case it's distressing. You notice towards the end of the records, there seems to be some kind of reference to the birth being incomplete. You would think that this means that they didn't go to full term. So there is, interestingly, the way it's recorded isn't necessarily the birth, it's actually the sale of almost like a product. You're not really sure what that product is, but it's the sale of something towards a new birth. It's obviously some kind of financial / birth record.
Tithes, perhaps?
It's definitely a sale of some kind of product.
Didn't they say that there had to be lives were getting moved about? Is it a sale of like one life for another?
Doesn't seem to be.
Maybe.
It seems to be the sale of a physical product by this guild to an expectant parent.
Okay.
And that's almost how they record it.
Perhaps
You would
so.
almost surmise from that if you were not wealthy enough to purchase whatever it is, you probably weren't recorded in this record.
Yeah.
Whatever this thing
So
is.
some fertility stone or something to do with the forge. I think there was some comments about
Yeah.
forge-related activities that might promulgate life in some way.
Maybe little paddling pools.
Yeah.
People like that, right?
Was there only one? Only the one at the end that looked like didn't go through correctly. Most of the others were
As you
complete, as it were.
Yeah, as you check the rest, this seems to be the latest record. But as you check through the rest, they seem to be less frequency of births that didn't come to full term. And as you go back and back, and it takes these things are heavy, right? So you're picking through them, and it takes you a long time to actually decipher them. So you're actually probably taking.
Hey, Antrix, think fast.
They're quite a big disc to kind of plant. You know, they're a foot across, they're about 2 inches thick, they're made of stone. But they seem, as you backtrack through them, to be more and more complete and more kind of carrying to full term. You kind of deduce from that the level of fertility in the population that was rich enough to afford whatever it is these guys were selling dropped off over time. It wasn't kind of a sudden thing.
Okay. Yeah, she'll relay bits of that as she's
We already know this, though.
Babies were bought and sold.
something.
While she's doing all this investigating, I'm going to have a look in the room in the middle.
Cool. You push open the door. Can you roll a Constitution saving
Ooh,
throw,
hello.
please?
It's just a room full of farts.
Like an aeroplane.
That's assembly. Then.
Yeah.
It's Richard Sparks and Cam Monroe.
That's
Not
a
even joking,
natural
that is.
1.
A natural 1. You immediately vomit.
Wow.
So you haul up your guts and all over the floor. What was the last thing you ate? Do you remember the last thing you ate?
Beer, probably.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was a pint of beer at the
At the Guild
Guild
Hall.
The little
House.
snacks
Yeah.
that they had.
So that. Oh, and the confectionery as well.
I had a
Oh no, I
confectionery.
didn't have the confectionery. I wasn't
No,
with
oh,
you
yeah.
guys. then.
Oh, there you go.
But
So
no,
yeah,
just the beer, probably the
roughly-
rations that I had the night before.
I thought we had some soup, didn't we, at the details?
some lovely soup.
That you had on the stove.
Soup. Yes,
Yeah.
did have some.
Oh yeah,
lovely
some
soup, yeah.
all the lovely soup,
Chunky
and the
soup.
black beer that you drank.
Yeah.
All of that
It's
comes
exactly
straight
the
back up.
same.
Comes out the same way it came in.
It was a 5,
Yeah.
by the way, because but yeah, natural one.
Okay. So you got 5. So it's not the worst thing in the world. You
No,
retain some
But it
dignity.
was a natural one.
But yeah, you kind of throw it on the floor. It's not on you, because that would have been a natural 1. The reason being is you all get this stench. It's a mixture of what you'd imagine it passes for fine cheese in some areas, but also like a horrible dairy that's been left a long period of time, mixed with some kind of sporing fungus because it's been there so long, and an odd smell of almost like a spirit of some kind or some kind of distilled liquor. All in one go, just kind of gushes out of the sealed room. As you peer into it and the light starts to promulgate into the room, you see kegs. They've kind of swelled over time and busted, and some kind of oozing liquid that's been there a long time is kind of pooled on the floor. Some of the kegs are intact, but they look like they could go any minute. They're kind of really expanded.
What the merry hell is this?
What weirds me out is that people work next door, and this is just happening. And they just
Yeah, but
close the
okay, this
doors.
has obviously been left here for a very long time. But why leave it here?
They say don't cry over spilt milk things.
Do you think
Crying.
that's what it is? Or?
To me, Dwarven society seems to run. You get given a job, and they do the job. So if all the cleaners are dead, nobody would probably clean, from what I've seen.
It's a very good
At the end
point.
of they seem to behave like that.
It's a very, very good point. I'm gonna
He's going to drink some.
I'm gonna hold my breath and have a look in and see just if there's anything else in there other than near bursting things of 500-year-old milk.
We've actually left a pint of milk on a radiator in preparation for this session.
500
left
years
it.
ago.
We left it in Richard's pocket.
That's my pocket.
Yeah, it's my pocket. You peer into this room as hard as you can. It's very dark in there. You have night vision. So you notice towards the back of the room, it's probably 40 foot deep, so just on the edge of your kind of dim light. You can see round the back of the room, there's some kind of living area, probably a staff room of some kind. There seems to be a set of stairs that on the left and the right, symmetrical, that go up to something else, but you're not sure what that is. But yeah, there is some kind of homely quarter at the back. You cast your mind back into the Gilded Hall. This is a smaller version of that. So much like you went through a place of business into what was somebody's home, this looks very similar, other than there seems to have been some kind of storage of material or storage of wares in that room, which again looks fairly common with how the dwarves lay out these buildings.
I'm willing to bet that those stairs lead to a nursery. Anybody want to go and have a look?
We have to get past all the gunk.
To get past all the gunk.
You would have to get that.
Smelly gun.
Is there a dry route? Or are we going to get our paws wet?
You'd have to, yeah, it's going to be a struggle. This room is kind of goopy.
And how spory do you think? Yeah. Like, does it smell like mildew? Kind of.
It does,
smells
but
like
it smells like
200-year-old milk.
Yeah, that's exactly what it smells like. It doesn't smell pleasant.
100-year-old dwarf milk.
Yeah.
My concern is there was the whole man turning into mushroom thing.
No, I think this is just what happens when you leave milk out for 100 years.
I think
It
it smells
I don't-
quite nice.
You would.
Elantrix,
Of course
if
you
you're
would.
looking into the room, you'll notice on the kegs that haven't yet exploded, there is some kind of carving on the side of the keg. The first one, from context, although written in a different script, but from the words around it, does say the Guild of Wet Nurses. The other word says Maiden's Work. It looks like Maiden's Work is the name of the product.
It's
And-
dwarven breast milk.
No.
It's
Dwar-
100-year-old dwarven breast milk.
Fused with some kind of alcohol, I believe.
Of course it is, yes, of course, yeah.
Start them off young.
They absolutely would. Like mother's milk.
And the fungus doesn't look like the magical fungus we've seen before. It just looks like
It's just decay.
yeah.
Seems to be
Yeah.
some form of
I have
natural
a
decay.
sneaking feeling that if you were to be brave enough to drink this, apart from very ill, you would be absolutely off your nut.
I think maybe we should run through, but be prepared to never speak of this again.
I'm not going to run through that. If you bump into one of those, it's going to go off like a landmine.
I'm going to throw a coin into the room. Just near one of the barrels.
As you do that, I'm going to shut the door.
Okay, well, you can do that. You can
I'm
throw
going
it,
to do it.
throw it out
Well,
a barrel,
I'm going to
or
throw it at a barrel.
Right, as he throws it, I'm going to shut the door.
cool. In one move, then I'm going to let you roll for it. You throw this coin in the barrel. You slam the
Slam
door
the door shut.
You hear like a fizzing noise. It goes on for a little while, and then there's kind of a pop slash bang, shall we say?
And then
And
lot
then a
of
squelch.
splattering.
Yeah, then a squelch.
Oh.
Well, at least there was only one. You didn't trigger all of them.
I mean,
Three,
hysterics.
two,
In-game
one.
Just seems to be the one.
Pretty gross. Yeah,
Well,
if there was a dry route through, there was
Do you want to get out of here?
I've got 1,919 more coins, right?
Is anybody skilled with like alchemy or
Yes.
brewer's supplies
Yes, I am
or
skilled with alchemist's tools.
I wonder I'm just interested
Have a
to
loot.
is this just milk, fungus and some kind of spirit or is there something
You want me
that's
to?
creating well those stones alluded to the fact that births were being aided by some product. Is this the product that's aiding them? And if so,
Oh.
is there something else in there?
Maybe you need to think about the icons you saw on the disc, so maybe the icons on the barrel, so does it all match up?
You're a magic. Is it magic?
Yeah.
Okay, I will.
Is it made of magicals?
How do you want to play this? I mean, I can. We'll open the door and
Yeah.
I
What
will-
kits have
I'm
you got?
ready another coin.
I've got an alchemist's kit.
Absolutely. It would take you a fair amount of time, but you could take a sample of the stuff and try and deduce what's in it.
Yeah,
If
okay.
it's fermented, then that's where the alcohols come from.
Alchemist's supplies.
Could
I've
taste
got
quick.
items
I've
need
just
to
said-
pursue a craft or trade professions, sort of artisans,
Like a
bonus
milk-
to
like a
ability
milk
checks to make using the tools in the craft.
I'd let you
Sounds
roll
better than
probably
it.
an investigation check with
Yeah.
your proficiency bonus added onto it. But what I would say is it's going to take some time, right? Because
Yeah.
you're going to have to set up your alchemist kit, which you can do, and it'll probably take you probably half an hour before you even get anything, and that's only to get like a little bit of a look. So it would take you a good amount of time because you have to.
If you want,
set
if
this
you
thing
want
up.
me to have a look at this, I can, but you'll have to all go to the guild hall without me.
Were there any
It's
other?
going to take me a little
rooms?
while.
There's a set of staircase on the left and right. They're symmetrical. They go up to the top floor.
On the far end.
Far.
But there were no more rooms where in the room we were in. Okay, so this is the only way to go.
Oh. You get cracking then tonight.
Okay. Okay. I will do so.
Cool. If you make the roll first, just in case there's a catastrophic failure, otherwise you might be wasting your time.
So what do I need to do? I've never tried this sort of thing.
As a roll an investigation check, and all you do is add your proficiency bonus because you're proficient in alchemist tools.
How do I add what's my proficiency?
Are you proficient in alchemist tools? Because there's a difference between having the kit
They're like
and
overalls.
being proficient in them, isn't there?
I believe I am, yes.
Do you?
I don't know how to...
The other option
check
is if it's mixed
that,
with alcohol,
to be
we can
honest.
just flash burn it off. It's not a bad idea.
It's sludgy. It's kind of creamy and sludgy.
Oh.
Stop it.
Yeah.
I think it's Bailey's.
Oh.
I think it's barrels of Bailey's.
And
Yeah,
most,
if you imagine Bailey's, but like twice the thickness
Oh, full of
and
chunks.
full of chunks, that's kind of what you're looking at.
is it curds and
Eggnog.
whey?
Oh,
No,
God.
there is a bilayer.
Eggnog.
There's definitely a forming bilayer of like a grey, clear thickness. And like
How
a
dare you
creamy-
disturb the milk?
I'm mostly looking to see if any of that stone's in here.
Yeah, we came across this in the Wood Elf Forest. This goo. Living sludge.
Yes.
Well, we did.
Different people.
Yeah.
I have proficiency in investigation, but I thought I had proficiency on the...
I'll give you the benefit of that.
But I can't find it on my sheet.
Like Fern Gully.
Fern Gully.
Okay, so what's...
Fern Gully.
If you just roll investigation,
Right.
and then I think you add 3.
plus
Will
3.
be your proficiency bonus.
Not if he's not proficient.
I believe he is. I believe he is.
So that is 12 plus, that's 15.
15. So what does this look like? You're obviously setting up your alchemist toolkit. What are you trying to do to deduce what's in this stuff?
There's a little selection of vials and
Science.
I'm doing science and stuff. It's
Is that specific enough?
Yes.
yes,
I
yes,
understand
things that
that.
change
Yeah.
colour when you add other things to
Yeah,
them,
yeah.
and stuff that bubbles. A few
Nice.
things that
I'm
fizz.
thinking of the scene Mega Shark versus Giant Octopus.
We all know it.
Classic film. And you add 2 vials together, it turns bright orange. You've solved the problem.
That'll do it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
but it
Okay.
takes a little while.
Takes a little
yeah.
while. Yeah, there's a lot of. It's like a montage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know the one. So the rest of you are heading over to Guildhall.
Okay.
If that's what you want to do, that's what was suggested.
Yeah.
Anywhere from here will be good.
Or is anyone staying with Phineas to watch the
I think-
science happen?
I think Felix is going to stay with Finesse.
Cool.
Yeah, just in case. Just in case the slime comes along or something.
I mean, if you want to go and have a look at those rooms upstairs,
But that means I have to go through.
there's a mop.
If you were a real doggo,
Hang
you'd
on,
have
there's a
taste.
mop with wheels on the bottom of it.
There is a mop, it doesn't have wheels.
It doesn't have wheels on the bucket.
The bucket's just a bucket.
You can push the bucket with the mop.
He's going to try and push the bucket with the mop.
Yeah, you can do that.
On the open
If
sea.
you think if you push the mop through the slime,
Yeah. Or I could create a clear path.
it's
You
so
could
thick it
sit
will create.
in the bucket,
Yeah, he's gonna do the bucket ship.
boat yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll see you guys in a bit. I'm in a bucket ship over there.
It's
Are you
stone
proficient
on
in
stakes,
sea
it's
vehicles?
quite. Luckily, you're incredibly strong.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
but there's going to be a certain layer of slime
Yeah,
to
that'll
the surface and
slide.
de-friction it a
Yeah,
bit.
as soon as you get into the gunk, it glides almost effortlessly. It's very well lubricated.
Like a marble.
Sounds like a Zelda puzzle. Just trying, we're going, whoa! You just keep sliding
Can you roll
around
my
everywhere.
dexterity saving check to avoid the
As you slightly
pulsating barrels?
bounce off of one side and the other,
It's like a pinball.
rotating gently as
Pinball
you
machine.
go.
Dex.
Yeah.
11.
11. Whoa, it comes close. It's a bit more sliding than you expect, and you're stronger than you.
Easy.
Yeah, so you kind of
Starts to
go
get a bit of spin on it. Yeah.
bit of spin in there.
Yeah, what do the other side?
Gently
Yeah.
rotating your
Yeah.
way along.
Absolutely.
You're backwards on a pedal at the edge
Yeah.
of a riverbank.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm gonna flick a coin, but up in the air. I just want to make the noise.
Oh, yeah. Cool.
So you're gliding through the slime.
Yeah, I'll leave it to these guys.
You're checking the science, and we're going to head over to the guild hall. The three of you make it round the corner. There's a very large, ornate arc with a door that's actually open. And you saw the other side of this door. It was shut earlier, but it seems to be open now. And it leads into the guild hall. You know this room fairly well. It is fairly open. There are 4 very long, large tables, and there's torches around the outside, of which only 1, 2, 3, 4 of them are lit. So it's fairly dim. There are kind of hooks on the tables that hold these very large horns from some kind of animal, each of which is filled with kind of an amber beer. There are definitely more horns than people. You will notice there are 6 dwarves in this room. They're all kind of sat around, drinking. One of them, Bruville, who you met earlier, who has kind of this dirty blonde, kind of greying hair and beard, seems quite surprised to see you. Oh, hey, what you lot doing here? I thought you went up to the Gilded Hall. How did you get there?
You handle these lot. I'm going to the amulet shop.
The ambulance
Yeah,
shop.
she's going to the amulet shop while these two handle this.
Yeah, okay.
They've got it in hand.
Those two.
See you later.
I'll be telling.
Where is your refreshments? First of all,
Well, the beer's on the table, confectionary's out.
I'm gone.
Just you then.
What type of confectionery do we have?
Well, we got some kind of peanut
Oh,
kind of
no, don't like
puffs. You know, you take
No.
you take the unnecessaries from a dead groat,
Yeah.
and you fry them, and I don't even know what a peanut is, to be totally
I
honest.
swear
But
enough.
some kind of nut that grows
Yeah.
like a nodule. It makes like an oily substance, you know, and you rub it in,
This-
and then it kind of puffs up, makes like a wee kidney.
Wee kidney. Yeah.
Covered in peanut butter, whatever that is, like a nutty.
Disgusting.
Yeah, and you
Anything
people
else?
find it quite delicious. Actually, it's quite
He
common.
takes one.
Do they?
Yeah,
Have
try
one of
one.
these.
Have one of those.
Meat imitation.
That's like you take a groat and you take its peculiars and then you fry it and it puffs up.
No good.
Yeah, you don't put the oil on that one there, the
No.
peanut, the whatever it is,
Oh,
nut
horrible.
oil.
Disgusting that. No good. This is why nobody comes around to buy anything anymore, because you're serving stuff like this.
Well, some people quite like
If
it.
all that was, if you just put that out for dinner, I wouldn't come back.
Well,
I'll
I'll let
give
them
you the
know.
pleasantries on the way out,
The
but I wouldn't
Gilded
be
confectioners
returning.
will probably be quite upset.
Well, I'm sorry, the truth hurts sometimes.
You know.
Well, anyway, we're after a lady, Stole Tollum. Stole Tollum?
Stole
Stole Gollum.
Tollum, aye.
Stole
The
Tollum,
mining
yes.
guild. He
Yes,
got some mining to do.
I do.
Ah, well, that's very interesting. Why the Gilded Hall sent you back for a miner today? They didn't want anybody to craft any small items now, did they?
Well, what kind of small items do you need crafting?
Well, what would you like?
What do you do?
Make your ring?
What kind
One of these?
Is it any
You
good?
notice all of his hands are covered in rings. And every single one of them is very ornate, they're all different, they all have small, almost like appendages of their own and little kind of fine
Oh, right.
details on them.
Are they just for decoration or?
Oh, well, they do this and that.
Very mysterious.
Good for, I forget what the word is.
Yeah, got any,
Stone.
have you got any good for
Stone.
storting?
Aye, if you want a stone ring, aye.
Well, you offering me a storting?
No, I got a stone a ring for stone.
I mean, you'd like one of them,
He
wouldn't
wants
you?
to stow him.
Absolutely. You should step by my guild if you want a stone ring. They're quite popular.
Well, how much?
Well, they used to be.
I got.
You're not by the Stinky Guild, are you?
Stinky Guild? What are you talking
the,
about?
the Milky Guild.
Oh, the Guild of Wet Nurses. Aye, yeah. Sad story, that.
Have you just?
Do tell.
Have you been there?
No, I wouldn't go into
Disgusting.
somebody else's guild not after it's closed.
Where's the Guild of Cleaners? Because my friends are there.
We did no Guild of Cleaners.
Well,
that's for the commoners.
Oh, where are they?
Oh, they're through there.
It's bloody disgusting and it needs cleaning.
We don't go there anymore.
Well, I think
Well, we don't go there anyway. We're guild members, you see.
that
We've reached a form of society. We don't fraternise.
how you once had this contained, I don't believe you have it contained anymore.
What do you mean, contained?
You had the door shut. You know, swept it under the rug, shut the door by accident.
Is this a form of common? I don't understand. Swept. Contained. Stepped.
Yeah.
I don't know. Are you being figurative?
No, you maybe. You did contain it in a room, yes.
You got
And
some
you
barrels of
closed
some
the door.
rancid stuff in that place.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see. The maidens
My
were-
friend drank it.
No, he
You
didn't.
drank it!
He drank it.
It's for wee Bens!
No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
It's for wee Bens.
He
You
thought it
shouldn't
was,
be
he
drinking
thought it was
it.
delicious beer. He loved the smell of it.
No,
And he drank it.
no,
What's
it's
gonna happen
for,
to him?
It's for wee Bens. It won't You cannot drink it, no.
Well, he
Well,
did.
what would happen if you did?
Well, if it were fresh, you'd probably just taste a lot of milk. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt the bones. Make you a bit sleepy, maybe. Make you grow strong, maybe.
Just milk.
No. You take the milk from a groat, and then you mix it with. Well, it's a very secret recipe, but I know they mix it because if you have a wee sip, it does taste like there's a little bit of something strong in there. You know, some kind of potent element. But aye, we fed the bens on that for many a year. Back when there were bens, to be fair, aye.
Talking about the Bens, I had a friend. I didn't have a friend, actually. That's a lie. Sorry. Telling fibs there.
You're quite a confusing person. Has anyone
I
ever told you
know.
that?
I thought we got all good relationships begin with honesty, and I was about to tell a lie, and I thought,
Aye.
no,
That's fair.
I'm not going to lie.
That's fair.
And I'm going to own up to my lie,
I like that.
and I do
I
apologise.
like that about you.
I had a friend who couldn't read. Unfortunately, I can't read Dwarvish.
Okay.
And just going through the records, and there was records of trading
Aye.
for the Bens. Did you sell Bens?
No.
Oh,
No, there was no sale of the bens.
you've got to be careful with this because of me and my friends. We can't read Dwarven, and we've inferred from the pictures all sorts of stuff. And in a minute, the whole world's going to think pretty wrong of the dwarves. So what is actually going on?
Well, the Guild of Witnesses just sold the Maiden's work. It's what we needed to feed the little ones, you know,
Oh.
the wee ones.
But
That's all.
my friend
They also
Electrix-
helped. They helped with the birth, and they went over and made sure the maiden was all right and
Oh,
passed the child. You know.
I'm rather disappointed in that. You being honest there?
Sorry.
You being honest about that?
Aye.
Oh.
That is not good etiquette,
I'm
mate.
sorry, I was hoping for a magical story, yeah. I thought there was going to be something deeper in that, but... I
That's
thought we was
all
on
I
the
can give
trail!
you,
I thought we was
I'm
on the scent of something exciting!
No,
An
I think
adventure!
It's a pretty
Right.
weak class of people if you need to
Yeah.
employ someone to give birth to your child for you.
Is that what happens? They gave birth for you?
But they helped, yeah.
Oh,
You know, it's a service.
I don't
We
know.
like a service.
What's the service?
It's like you used to doing something quite a lot,
Yeah.
and other people ain't quite used to it yet. So you sell them your time, and you go in and you help them out.
Oh, it makes sense. It
You
makes
see,
sense. Yeah.
it's quite logical, really.
It does, yeah. Excellent. So, anyway, Stole Tollum. Forgot about her.
Hey, she's over there. Scott Olam! What are you doing? Put that down. You've had too much already. Come over here. A woman comes out to you, or a female dwarf, as far as you can tell. She's got greying hair. Looks like originally it was black. No beard that can be seen. It's kind of round to one side and plaited around her head, so it kind of keeps out of her face. You'll notice her because she gave you the eye.
Oh, yeah. The eye. What
The
what
eye.
eye? The eye?
The eye.
The eye.
Yeah, when she was voting, if you remember.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, hey, nice to see you. You're back again, are you?
We've come
We
especially
have
to
to.
see you.
You come to buy me a drink? I'm joking. We'll drink for free.
Oh, that's good.
Do you want a drink?
Yes, I'll have a drink.
Here you go.
Something light, though.
Picks one of these horns off the table and hands it to you.
Is it a light one?
Oh, hey, yeah, a little bit.
You know, I'm not used to drinking alcoholic beverages.
She picks up one of the horns and drinking.
Is it?
If you've not drunk before, it's best to get it over and done with.
Oh, hey, he's right. Just get it down in one go. You know, don't let it touch the sides. That's when you get into trouble. If it sticks around.
It sticks around. I will, yes, on the end, I will do that to celebrate our agreement at the end of this conversation.
Oh, very intriguing.
We have a proposition for you.
That's very
To
good.
hear you are a part of the Miners Guild.
I am the Miners Guild, aye.
Oh, you are the Miners Guild.
Aye,
that's
that's right.
fantastic. So the bureaucracy stops here. This is it.
That's right.
No more layers. 'cause
Some tall.
You dwarves love a layer.
That's right, we do.
But
All
not
the way
here.
down,
Fantastic.
stratified is what we are. Like the stone itself.
I've had some friends that fell down a hole.
Right. That sounds like we kind of work.
You just said you don't lie.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, I lied. I'm quite sorry. I am.
What? You're very confusing.
I know. I'm not.
Are you not wearing any trousers?
Admittedly, I have some slight undergarments on, but yes, I am showing a lot of
I
thigh
like your
right
tie.
now.
It's very nice. I like your hard hat.
Have you got?
Welcome.
Can you take us to the Guild of Buttons?
No.
Yes, and some friends have gone down the hole. What do we call the hole? The hole.
What are you talking about?
There's a bloody massive hole. Can't out.
Where? In the guild terrace? That's supposed to be there.
Yes.
No.
Oh no.
In the other place.
What do we call? What's it called?
The Gilder.
The
land.
gilded terrace?
Gilderland.
Yeah, Lord Ash Armour. Ash Armour.
Ash Armour, yeah.
You know him?
I'm
He's
aware.
always
He makes
skulking.
likenesses. He was guilted.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a going out.
He's just skulking about. You know where he always skulks about? Down by the big
I
hole.
don't go there. I'm not
Oh
allowed.
no. Do you
No,
know?
I go via invitation. It's the Guilded Hall. I'm not allowed in there.
We've been given authority from Holston to invite you.
No.
Yes.
I'm going to the Guilded Hall now.
We're gonna
Oh,
go-
I need to do my hair again.
We're going to go through, and then we're going to go digging.
Oh, but I've been drinking. They'll think I'm alright drunk.
Well,
Oh, they're all drunk in there.
Oh, I know.
Get yourself. Go on down here.
oh, yeah. Well,
Can you roll a Constitution saving throw?
half through.
Roll 15 Constitution saving throws.
Consecutive.
Take the average.
We roll a 19. We're good.
19.
Oh,
You're
25.
fine.
Yeah,
You're
25.
fine. If
Another.
Strong-willed.
if you roll a
Don't know it.
persuasion check against a dwarf, you can take it with advantage.
Awesome.
Or if you roll a charisma-based throw against a dwarf, you can roll it with advantage.
Excellent.
You take no negative effects.
21. Oh, sorry. Yes, I'm not doing that right
You
now.
can do
am I?
if you so wish, but
Persuade.
yeah.
Don't worry about your hair. Come now.
21 persuasion.
I'll do.
Oh, hey, I'll go now. Let's go and see what the problem is. This
Right.
hole, you say?
Do you like Lord Ash? Oh, no.
I don't like to speak ill of a member of the Gilded Hall.
Holston.
But personally, I think he's not very nice.
Oh, we'll have a right treat for you when you get there.
Oh, right.
Yeah, he's in a sticky situation.
I'd say he's, what do you call it? I don't know the common when you have like a wheel
Yes.
and you pass oats through it
No.
and you grind it together and it comes out fine. You know, he's, that's what we'd call it in Dwarven anyway. Borak Daka. It means like, somebody who, rubs. You know what rubs?
I know Rubs, yeah.
Quick course. Rubs you. Just really rubs you, you know.
Oh, okay, I get it now. Yeah.
You talking to him and you're like, oh god, just like that all the time, just up against you, like, oh,
Abrasive.
abrasive. That's the
Abrasive.
word. Well done, you. Well done, you. Yeah, I find him quite abrasive.
Yeah.
You know, like the Gilded Hall doesn't talk to us a great deal, but even if they do, long periods of time, they just get a bit much. Holston, he's all right.
Yeah, but he seems okay.
He's all right. Aye.
How are you
Bit weird. Bit
heights, by the way?
Heights.
Heights. Good with heights.
I'm used to being very low down.
What about going...
So I suppose in a relative way, that is quite high up. So I suppose I'm fine.
Spiders?
What, like? Yeah.
I don't know, my friends just said spiders.
Yes,
Or a spider's
spiders
web.
are alright, and they've got to do their own thing, so
Where's your pickaxe?
I'll go grab it.
You ever heard of the life... You ever heard of a green stone? Glowing green stone. Can't remember what my friends had called it.
I don't
A
know.
jade tear? Maybe?
Jade.
Maybe?
Phylactery jade.
I don't know. Possibly.
Why?
This is apparently what they found, and we're hopefully going
We
to
definitely have
extract
wheat in. Is that good?
a bacon rasher.
Shit.
How many of those are you eating?
They're normally
Few.
okay.
Our break may be longer than you think.
Oh
Two trouserless people.
Join the Underpants Club.
Poison stew. No.
I'll help you, Jane.
Actually, these aren't bad.
That's because you normally have the
Confusing.
gluten-free version of that same snack.
I
don't
do,
you?
I do,
Yeah. Do they
yeah.
taste exactly the same?
They do. Yes, they
Oh
do.
no, bless you.
Ooh, tomorrow's going to be fun.
Good lord. Good lord. Congested.
Jade.
No, congested is not a word.
Oh, bless you. The opposite of congested.
Bum gravy, some would say.
The hole.
This sesh.
Hopefully, at the bottom of the hole, you'll find the bar, which is where we currently settled for this evening.
We need an axe. You need an axe.
Oh, hey, I'll go and get one. Aye.
Yes. How many have you got? Because we can give you a hand when we're there.
I got plenty.
Does it require brute strength, or is there just technique to this?
Hey, how'd I got a joke for you?
Oh, God, I like a joke.
How do you confuse an elf?
I don't know.
Put him in a room of spades and ask him to take the pick. Did you get it? Put him in a room of spades. And ask him to take their pick.
Pick!
Take their pick. Am I speaking alright?
Spades!
That's a good joke in common. That's quite a good one I heard.
It's a good joke.
I had a joke once.
I think he's new to this world. He doesn't get a lot
Why?
of things.
No.
Yeah.
You do look a little peaky, mate.
He's like- he's a bit
quite
like a Bentley.
exotic. You got quite an exotic look to
Do you think?
Aye,
I'm,
yeah.
I'm actually not from here.
I know. Are you from one of the other mountains?
I don't think I'm from a mountain, no. I'm
Mandoran? No.
from a box.
Gordonian, maybe?
No.
You're from a box.
From a box and along... In another... From somewhere else. We'll talk about that later. I've got a joke for you, though.
Okay.
This is a joke. You know, you have chickens here?
No.
That's funny!
Is that a joke?
I'll carry on with the joke.
I've
'Cause
read
it-
of them. Little.
Yes,
Hey,
yes.
yeah.
You speak common as well? Yes, quite well.
That's
Okay, right.
A bit.
Why was the chicken funny?
I don't know. Why was the chicken funny?
Because... Did you get it? Because...
That's quite funny.
Did you get it?
Yeah, I like
That's
that.
the only joke I know. No, I read that in the book.
That's really
I
good.
like that
What
one.
you can read.
Not dwarven. But I can read kids' books. Picture books. Yeah.
Alright,
Yeah.
if you find some phylactery jade, then I'm your last. Let's go and dig this thing up. How much?
Yes.
What's the take? You know, he's all Asham parting with some of his wealth, isn't he? Over this.
Are you... how much is a finder's fee? How much is that?
About 10%.
Are you happy with 10%?
No, I wouldn't more than that. I'm going to be digging the thing up the
To be
ground.
honest, I don't even know what we're doing with
You
it.
find the ore,
Yeah.
then I dig it up.
Yeah.
You get the finder's fee, and then I sell it.
That's,
See,
okay.
that's how it works. But if it's a substantial amount, then maybe we can talk terms.
We need some of it for sure.
We think there's a mine of it down there. We think this could be a long-term agreement.
No, I doubt it. Phylactery jade's very rare.
Well, I mean, you don't have to talk to us about it.
No.
You just have to
You're lucky
believe
enough
us.
if you find amulet worth or a.
Is it?
Yeah.
I wasn't really paying
A ring,
attention
maybe?
to what my friends were saying. In my mind, there was a lot, yes, but
It's
I
quite potent.
don't know.
It's quite potent stuff.
Yeah, I
It
think
takes a lot of skill to mine, because if you shatter it, it's worth less, you know? You gotta forge it, and there ain't many people who can do that these days.
yeah. We were
Wilson
hopefully
will probably know a thing or two. Maybe the guild master, maybe the forge master general will tell you something.
I think this is who we're gonna. This is what we plan to give it to Holston potentially. You know, exploring the life forge and some things like that. Hopefully, we're going to bring the life forge up. That's the plan.
Bring it up. What are you talking about?
Down the hole. Oh, you haven't been there. We'll show you.
Okay. You show me. You take me on a date. Let's go and have a look.
Ho ho!
You have another drink.
I just
You
start
let me
reading the
get
manual.
Let
How
me
to
get
date.
my pickaxe.
You get your pickaxe. You need to find a
There
Lantrix.
is a poo down there. Just remember that.
Meanwhile,
Don't remember that.
one of you is
Meanwhile,
sailing
oh,
across
on
a
the first
small ocean of
Yeah, it
kinky
takes
liquid.
ages.
Yeah. You're still slooping along.
That was the first
You have a
date.
series of vials set up. Probably a little,
Lots of different colours.
little spirit
okay, so
burner.
Yeah, there's one underneath the glass
Time to get ready.
glass bell jar.
Yeah,
and,
you're kind of heating it up.
little circular like thing of glass and the sort of stuff that would be incredibly fragile to carry around with me.
Yeah, as an adventurer.
As an adventurer,
You managed to do that fairly well.
Yeah.
You basically separate this thing out into layers. You realise that most of it is fat content. That's kind of what's in there. You surmise from that it's probably not humanoid milk. It's from some other animal. And it's very, very fatty. The original consistency, if you like, would have been this very fatty milk, very high energy. It's no wonder that young dwarves grow up incredibly strong, and there's obviously this incredibly kind of fatty, strong
Highly nutritious
material. You do notice as you base it out there is a solvent in there, which is probably a very potent form of alcohol, something distilled. So you think the constituent parts of this are some kind of milk from some kind of large creature and some kind of potent solvent seems to be the makeup of this. You don't think from that this would have caused any ill effects in pregnancy or anything like that. It's unlikely that's the case. It was
The only thing it's caused is substantial growth and a lifelong dependency to alcohol.
That's about right. Yeah, that seems to be exactly right. That's what this stuff was either for, or at least that was its intention. From the information you've already gathered from the historical records, you would imagine upon birth a contract was set up where somebody would help birth the child, then somebody would help feed the child and bring over this material, and it was a contract that was formed over time, some kind of dwarven contract. The rings in the other room were a record of those contracts, so that everyone knew who paid up when a new birth would happen. They would take some of this material, they would nurse the child, and the child would grow up strong.
So they obviously, whatever happened, it wasn't through lack of resources.
Doesn't seem to be. There's plenty of the stuff.
That's the conclusion.
Oh, the Fur Knight sailing through the milk.
Yeah, the Fur Knight
Like the ocean wave.
sailing through the milk.
I'm thinking Wind Waker.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely fine.
Episode name: Sailing Through the Milk.
Yeah.
I was thinking Trousers Off.
Sailing through the seas
If
of
you want
cheese.
hits Trousers Off.
I wish people would join me, to be honest. In the summer, this is how I want us all to be.
Yeah. We're all going to be in our stubbies.
I don't wear
Yeah.
underwear in the summer.
I believe that, to be honest. I do believe that.
I wear 3 layers of
Do you?
it.
Only 3 layers of the summer relative to my
My
10.
centre is never hot enough.
Yeah.
That's a good way to keep you grounded. Take your undies off.
It's where I keep my cold soul.
So
You're
yes.
sailing through the milk. You eventually make it to the other side. You're aiming for the left-hand staircase, the right-hand staircase.
Oh, left.
Left, of course. A wise man once told me, if you're in a maze, always go left and you'll find your way out.
Yep.
It's true.
It's true. So are you going to head up said staircase?
Yeah, sneakily.
Sneakily. Roll a stealth roll.
18 plus 3, 21.
21,
Sneaky.
you are very stealthy.
Sneaky
Stone.
boy.
It's stone as well, so you can be very stealthy. Like
Cool.
you can't even hear you walking up and down these stairs. But as you get to the top, it's the side you're on is an open terrace. It's an open door. There seems to be a living quarters here. So there's a stone bed built into the floor. There was a mattress there, obviously, that's kind of degraded a lot over time, but it was still kind of made out of some soft, leathery material.
Oh, not stone.
Not stone, not a stone mattress, and there was a leathery kind of blanket on top of it. It's obviously made out of some leathery material, flexible material. Little bits of bric-a-brac. There's a stone kind of armoire built into one wall. It was obviously a living quarters. You'd imagine this would have been the guildmaster or whoever owned this guild. They are not there currently. There is a door that leads into another partition. So this is, again, symmetrical. This room is half of the floor plan, and the other half of the floor plan would be what the other stairs leads to.
Well, he's looking for documentation. He knows what to look for now. It'll be like stone tablets and things. If there's any drawers in here or anything.
No, there's the armoire that looks like it at one point held clothes, but there's nothing in there right now.
Cool, we sneak into the next room.
You sneak into the next room. In this room, there are 12 very small stone cots.
Yeah.
They're built into the floor, and they're lined kind of 6 and 6. Obviously, it's empty. There's nothing in there. There are 4 stone cabinets built into the walls, and they're kind of carved directly into the walls. As you open them, which I imagine you do, nothing's trapped you in adventure, you figure these things out. As you open
Does
them,
he get trapped in the cabinet?
I'm trapped in the closet.
Captain Cabinets. Trapped in cabinets.
Trapped in the cabinets. You open them. There are a couple of these stone discs, along with some other kind of alchemical-looking equipment, kind of bottles and things like that. You'd imagine this was what was used to nurse the children.
Okay.
So kind of that kind of thing.
Well, he's probably going to drag those stone discs back.
Yeah, they're heavy.
Yeah.
In total, there's probably about 8 of them, but you could probably get a smattering of about 4 with you.
Strength 18.
You're going to struggle to get all 8 in the
Well,
bucket across the slide,
he's
but I'll
very
let
strong.
you do it.
Cool. Yeah, he's going to go for it. And then
Cool.
he's going to Wind Waker his way out of there.
Can you make me an athletics check to carry a stack of stone discs?
Not acrobatics.
Where do you acrobat?
Anyone's. Oh, it's a 9.
It's a 9. You get about halfway through the slime,
Yeah.
and then you start teetering. Because
Oh.
you realise these stone tablets probably weigh the same amount as you, so you're quite top heavy.
He's going to hike out. Going to lean his body out the side.
You're literally going to lean out to try and compensate.
Yeah.
Can you make me a dexterity saving throw, please?
He's a prime sailor.
Yeah.
I believe.
We're going to have to put up with the smell of this.
1.
Oh.
Which, plus anything's bad.
It should be fine.
What is the plus, just out of curiosity?
There's just dex, you say?
Yeah, dex
3
save.
plus 3.
Plus 3.
Yeah.
Squelch.
Splatch.
Yeah. You fall sideways. The stone tablets hit the floor with immense force, right? They slam into the floor. You probably feel maybe a foot of this creamy substance just engulf. Kind of, and you're only small, right? But you feel the whole fur of your face and kind of your furry beard travel. It's almost like your body hits the surface.
Yeah.
The hair doesn't travel with you.
You know
You
snow
kind of stink.
angels?
Yeah, it's that kind
He's
of.
just going to accept it.
Yeah. Can you roll a Constitution saving throw as you try and
Snow angel saving.
contain?
It's not good. It's going to be a 6.
Yeah, you instantly vomit. So you're vomiting into the slime. You then choke on a mixture of the slime and the vomit as you're kind of rolling around and panicking. You hear a lot of commotion through this room. A very loud, heavy.
This is
thump.
really bad.
And then a lot of kind of squelching and kind of flopping about. If you imagine kind of like a dog falling into like a cesspit, that's
Yeah.
kind of what the
Yeah.
sound you're hearing and scrambling around.
I will go over,
Yeah.
picking my way as carefully as possible across, following the path that he.
The bucket path is there,
The
and you'll
bucket
notice that the
path.
bucket path is actually like filling back in.
Yeah.
Very slowly.
it's
it's kind of
oozing back shut.
filling back in.
Yeah, I will go over and. What the hell? Oh. Oh no.
But you'll feel so good.
Oh.
There seems to be a pile of some other object in there. There's a dog in there. And all of his fur is kind of.
Felix is
slick.
going to shot put the records back down the other end of the room.
Yeah, they slide incredibly well. It's
Curling.
like
Yeah.
curling.
Curling.
Like curling. It just comes straight
Right.
out.
Okay.
board.
That's. I
It's
hope,
all good.
I hope
Just-
this was worth it.
Just pretend it's fine.
Oh, that smell is never going to leave you, is it?
No.
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 I'll reach down and offer my hand to pull him out.
I'm sure it'll dry.
I'm sure.
And then
Only
I'll-
there's a spa nearby. So.
Yeah.
With a
And then I'll,
sick
just
mohawk.
I'll lick it off. Just
My good friend Felix,
Yeah.
can you note that you are currently poisoned?
grand.
That means that you have disadvantage on attack rolls and ability
Oh
checks.
no.
No
You
wonder
feel
they got no babies they're feeding this.
you feel a bit drippy, and you kind of have when you've had a vindaloo, and the next day you think at any moment you just feel uncomfortable if you're like more than 6 foot away from a toilet.
Stew tomorrow.
Yeah, that's kind of how you feel right now.
Cool.
Yeah, I will reach down and give him a
Touch
hand.
faith.
Trying to touch him as little as possible, to be honest, and haul him up.
Your
out of
alchemist
the-
marigolds. They
Ah,
go up to
yeah,
the go up to the elbow.
Big leather sleeves on. There we go. Up you come.
I like that. Yeah, big marigolds.
Yeah, you do make it out.
Yeah, I really don't feel so good.
No.
You got anything in your alchemist kit for this?
Not really. No. It's you've just ingested 100-year-old alcoholic milk.
I tell you
I'm
what.
surprised, to be honest, that you're still able to talk.
Once you mix it with the vomit in your mouth, it tastes pretty good.
Yeah, I'll take your word for it on
It's
that
got like
one, my
a
friend.
real strong alcohol hit,
Uh-huh.
and it's quite creamy.
Mm.
Yeah, it's the smell on the top that really makes you throw up. I think if I pinch my nose, I could probably go.
If he
No, I
pinches
could
his
probably
nose,
go and have a drink.
is he going to throw up again?
It is hard. Like, you're probably re-gagging every now and again. It is an incredibly viscous, kind of soured.
I've known dogs
Material.
to eat their own vomit, so
Oh, yeah.
it's fine.
Is that the kind of dog Felix wants to be? Because I will allow it. If that's
Is that the kind of dog you want to be, Felix?
He has like very strong instincts to do these things. Doesn't mean he does them. Like he's looked at vomit before and be like,
I could do that.
I would.
Yeah, maybe. I'm not right enough.
yeah, if there's no one around.
Meanwhile, Elantrix, who's gone off on her own, finds herself in front of the Guild of Fine Small Items,
Which is locked because the guys
which
in
is
the other
locked
area.
because
Yeah,
he's not there.
yeah. So wait for these guys to turn up.
Wait for these guys to turn out. You round the corner. You guys heading back?
I guess so.
Well, as long as we've got Stall Tarlum with us.
Scotorlum.
Scott
Yeah,
Orlam.
Scotorlum's coming with you. I just get my pickaxe. I'll meet you here.
Okay.
And it's just a pickaxe job. I don't need anything more, like heavy duty.
Awesome.
What do I need? Like, what's that?
You tell me.
I tell you what, I'll come with you.
Yeah.
I'll grab my pickaxe just in case.
Oh yeah.
We'll have a talk about the contract, and maybe once I know a bit more, maybe I'll figure out what I need.
I think Elantrix. Is Elantrix back with us yet, or are you still on your
Stood
own?
outside the Guild of Fine Small Items.
Find small items. I think when with the contract, we'll need her to negotiate the contract. I don't
Okay.
think me or this fella
Away.
are
Okay.
a fit
Right.
contracts.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, it stinks around here, doesn't it? Can you get a whiff of that? What's that? It sounds like, you know, when you go through like a lot of people's houses and you go, oh, what are they cooking? It's like that and crap mixed together. You know?
My friends are in now.
In where?
There's the wet nurses.
Oh no.
You know the stuff that used to feed the Bens?
Way, the Maiden work.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they didn't get rid of it when they closed it.
Nah. Some of them have split.
What are we gonna do about that? That stinks.
I know.
At this point, me and him walk out through the door.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm just-
guys,
I
come alive! Let's stood up and walking around.
Kill it!
Oh, what's that?
It's
Oh,
got-
it stinks.
It's all up in my hat.
Is that a dwarf? You, what are you doing? Are you swimming around in there?
I fell
You
in.
stink.
You give her a little taste of it.
No. You look. Oh no, you look dreadful.
Yeah, sadly I'm coming with you down that.
No, I'm not going down
Yeah.
there with you.
There's a body of
You've
water
got
down there,
a
so.
bucket of water or anything.
Oh wait, we got drinking water. Yeah.
There's like, is there a shower
A
room? Is
fountain.
there
A bathhouse.
a bathhouse?
Hey, there's a bathhouse.
Fantastic.
I'm not letting him in there though.
No,
This is
no,
a public
no,
bathhouse.
You've got it. We've got it. We can't. There's no way we could put
Wasn't there
up with
water at the
this.
bottom of the pit?
Yeah,
We could throw him in if you like.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm
I'll
quite
throw
tempted.
myself in. It's gonna be fine.
Please, can we take it to, or even a standpipe, something?
There's the bathhouse. There's the bathhouse.
Please, Les.
There's
Please.
a ton of beer in the other room.
Well, it does filter through, so maybe he'd be alright if we put him in the bathhouse. Because we're not going mining with you because there's
No.
not a lot of oxygen there.
No, I
That,
don't.
at the
Besides,
best of times.
I have a sneaky suspicion that if he was anywhere near a spark, he might just explode.
I feel a
There's
bit like that.
fair amount of alcohol in that stuff, and it's been fermenting for about 100 years.
Yeah.
Isn't there a pool at the bottom of the hole?
Yeah.
There you go.
No, it's fine.
Oh, no, yeah, but it's a long way down, and we're gonna have to. Oh.
New. I'm not gonna lie. It's getting late. The dwarves are probably gonna start coming back to bed now. So I'd like to go and talk about this contract, if you wouldn't mind.
Contract.
You
Is
can
this-
actually
is this
hear
the
kind
one-
of singing dwarves who obviously have quite a lot of merriment in the guild hall.
Merry.
And they're starting to sidle on back down the rows.
We should head to the hall and discuss it.
You're
Get in the
foul.
I have a vial of berry.
Sorry. Why? You're not telling me, are you?
No,
Talking out of
I'm
character.
talking out of
I thought you were
character.
offering me a vial
No.
of berry juice. That's very
Oh.
kind of you. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's the universal sign for speaking out of character, the moose horns. You have a vial of berry juice.
Yes, that may help with healing from poison.
Might be.
Ooh.
Gimme.
Try this. Try this.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm just gonna. just 2 seconds.
It's actually, do you know you hold one of these little kids' toys that like slide through your hand? It's a little,
Yeah.
the vial kind of slides.
And you know when like dogs hack before they
Yeah.
throw up? It's like. Thank you very much.
Oh, that's gross!
And he's like gonna swirl it around his mouth first, just to try and get some of the flavour out and drink it down.
You notice your tummy kind of felt very sour.
Yeah.
As you drink
Oh,
this,
here
you
we go
feel
again.
less sour.
Oh.
It feels
Oh.
right. You are no longer poisoned.
Oh, I feel so much better.
You do drink the entire vial then?
Yeah. Do I smell better? Anyone?
No, you stink. Like, you stink really bad.
Yeah.
Pretty bad.
Will you? I'm not even offended. That's fine. I've rolled in fox poo like numerous times.
On purpose as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What's a fox?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Is Elantrix here? I'll be looking
Yes.
for Elantrix. Oh!
You eating a bison then? It's a bit late.
Sorry?
You eating a bison then? Bison then, you know.
Sorry, yes.
Yeah.
I struggled with your accent,
It's a bit
apologies.
late.
Yes, what do
Bit
you
late in
have?
the day. Are you just starting about tune?
What wares do you have?
No, I don't run this place. That's not mine.
Stoltolum, this is Elantrix.
Nice to meet you.
Elantrix.
That's Bruvil's
Skull,
place.
Stoltolum.
I see.
Yeah.
Contracts, we've got the miner. But I'm not sure how.
Stoat on it.
Yeah. I'm not sure how
Bruvil's
this-
coming back now, but he'll be half cut by now.
Look, we're here to see the king.
The king!
We need something
You
to...
want to see the king, do you?
We need something...
Oh, well, welcome!
We need
Welcome
something...
to see the king! Oh, how grand! You've come all the way from the Elven lands to come and see the king. Marvellous!
Yes. We've
Get a
come...
load of this guy! Just wanders it off the street, come to see the king!
It's a lady, that one.
Oh, I'm very sorry, it's hard to tell. You all look the same to... I mean,
Yes.
yes. Yeah, it's the ears, you know. There's no kind of...
Yes.
Normally, no way of telling, if you know what I mean.
Yes. We're here to see the king,
Right.
and we'd like to present something of value to him, such that we can greet him
Right.
and converse with him.
Right.
And the sooner we do that, the better. So
Right.
if you would please assist us in getting down the hole, so that we can get to this mineral.
It's a forge. There's
Right.
a forge down there too.
Down the hole.
You'll see the hole. It's a
Right.
big hole.
It's a big old.
Right.
And there's
Okay, so.
There's a man on a magnet.
there's a forge of some nature.
Okay, so. I remember the magnet. I sold one of those not long ago. About 2 years now.
Oh, it's yours.
Oh, aye, aye. In the
Your
Gilton
magnet?
Hall. That's what they've been using it for, is it?
Oh, you're gonna love it.
Oh, aye.
Yeah.
Why does it
You
go...
stink, by the way. I can't let that pass because you really do stink. It's getting hard to kind of. If I wasn't so good with it, if I hadn't drank a lot, I'd be vomiting right now.
Yeah.
You know?
You want a little lick?
No,
You want 2 licks?
no, thank you. Very kind of you though.
You're welcome.
You sure we can't take you to the bathhouse?
It's fine. We'll go buy my hole.
Yeah, but then we're stuck with Sludgy the walking cheesecake.
I love
It was-
cheesecake.
It was wet at the bottom of the hole, wasn't it?
Do you have cheesecake in the whole dwarf kingdom?
Don't it?
Cheesecake?
Look, just
Have you heard of cheesecake?
Cheesecake.
Yeah, now is not the time, but later on, I'll sort
You should
that.
tell me about that. Maybe I'll talk to the
the
Guild of
last
Confectioners
thing
about
that
it.
I want to do right now with you standing there with a visible smell coming off you is
Doesn't it-
eat anything
Doesn't it make you think of cheesecake?
in only the worst possible manner.
Come see our hole.
You hear some singing. The singing's getting louder. The odd dwarf starts stumbling out of the guild hall and kind of stumbling back to the last one through. Remember to lock the door. Don't let anybody in there. And they're kind of stumbling back in. Right, shall we go and talk about this deal we're gonna make?
Definitely.
Seems grand, huh?
Ah.
What deal are we making?
Apparently,
It's not to see the king. Let's just say that.
just,
It's not really something I can sell you, but if I could, I would.
Of course, yeah.
What is this thing of value you've got about your person, just out of curiosity?
We have some items of value, but the more that's stacked in our favour, the better.
Do you? Right. Interesting. To come with the finder's fee at all? No.
Possibly.
Oh, well.
Now, how do we get you down this hole?
Well, I'll grab my pickaxe, I'll come and join you.
already agreed to come down the hole. Problem we have now is, apparently we have a finder's fee. Well, there's a finder's fee of 10%, but old Ash Armour's claimed that.
No, he
Don't know how long.
No,
And the rest of it goes towards the mine.
No, he's given that up. He
So-
very generously gave up the finder's fee for us.
Is
I
that
think-
right?
He
That
did.
doesn't suit him at
Oh,
all.
honestly, we negotiated it with him
Oh,
quite
okay, so-
dramatically, in fact.
We're gonna need more than 10%, I think. Because,
Okay.
I mean, like, realistically,
I don't know.
If we have
there's
10%,
a lot of it down there.
and you've got 90%, the king ain't gonna be impressed, is he? It's like making a cake, cutting a slice off and giving him a slice,
This
and then give it a cheesecake, a bit of cheesecake.
this jade stuff is valuable.
So it's right then, it's phylactery jade.
I
Who
reckon
prospected it?
We did.
we did. We found
He
it.
did,
At
the
the
cheesecake man.
bottom of the pit.
Who prospected it?
Bottom of the hole. We found it. So
We forged this hole.
as nobody else had gone down to the bottom of this hole before, we laid claim to the find.
That seems fine to me.
Now, from what we can gather, there was what? There's much? That jade down there? Was there that much? Was it that much?
There was a lot.
Lot.
Yeah, it seemed to be a large
Yeah,
mass.
it looked like there could be a whole seam of this stuff down there, like
So,
a lot.
you're all insight check. Or somebody can help that out. if you
Zort.
so wish.
That's a natural 20, which
Natural
comes down to 19. 'cause I'm
20.
not-
Which comes down to dancing.
It comes down to 19, but it was still a crit.
Minus one. It's still
Um,
critical. Yep, still a natural 20.
She does very well to keep a straight face. She's obviously been doing deals for a long time. She's an old dwarf. She is noticeably surprised underneath a very stoned
Slight
expression.
twitch over it.
Yeah, just a slight tell that she's surprised at that. Okay, so. Well, if it's right, and if you've prospected it correctly, no, I don't doubt your talent, but you're not kind of the sort for mining, if you don't mind me
No.
saying.
No, a bit.
And I can't even see your friend here, because he's below all this.
He's gonna crack one of his hairs because it's all dry.
It's slowly solidifying. So, forgive me for not being completely trustworthy.
Well, this is why we needed an experienced miner. We found the stuff,
I
but
can see that.
we're not qualified to extract it.
Okay, so.
Speaking of miners, Alantrix, I've got all of these records from.
Nice segue.
Yeah, you're welcome. Could you give us a quick eye over these?
Sure.
Yeah, you take a look. They are covered in a thick layer of slime. So it's quite hard to read.
Don't you
goes
worry
into
about
getting
it's
quite
gonna
used
pour-
to
it's
it
gonna
by
pour
now.
out. Yeah.
Yeah, what?
Yeah,
Gives it a
It
lick.
smears the top layer off, and actually inside all the runes is just like this collection of congealed mass. So it's quite hard to read.
It's
at
still
first.
good. It's still good.
It's like using your windscreen wipers.
Yeah.
You run out of water.
Oh, when the birds poop,
Yeah.
the windscreen, it's worse.
Right.
It gets worse
You're like,
and
what
worse.
did it eat?
Yeah, they are. This is
Everything.
Cheesecake.
slightly more intricate.
Greasy cheesecake.
Slightly more intricate documentation. So the first one, due to the evidence that Athenaeus kind of gathered, you realise that it was the kind of contractual agreement of going out and selling this kind of milk and this, or whatever it was, and this contract of people going out and feeding the children and growing them up big and strong. This is slightly different. It seems to denote particular children that starts relatively early in the history, that became ill and unwell, and they were obviously nursed more closely, so actually close to the guildmaster's bedroom. They kind of kept next door, and they kept a close eye on them. The opposite of what you've previously seen, this increases in frequency. Actually increases in frequency over time.
So fewer births, more disease. Yeah. And what happened to all the children? As she's thinking that, do I get a sense of time?
Yes, you do. Roughly, this is going on for. It started kind of 250 years ago, you would think.
Mm-hmm.
Then kind of 200 years ago is when it really kind of hit its peak. From that point onwards, it tapered off from there. You think the last record was probably 100 years ago.
Okay.
A long time. You know quite a lot about dwarves. You know, at a push, they live to 350, 400 years. So this is kind of a quarter of the life of a dwarf.
What happened to all the children?
Well, I guess none of us really noticed until the Guild of Wet Nurses closed its doors. And then we kind of took a lot more note of it. You see, we're very busy people, and we keep a lot to ourselves. You know, when we're struggling to have a bin, it's not really something you talk about a lot. And before we knew it, there were less and less and less. And
Did the Guild of Wet Nurses not? I mean, yeah, I can understand reticence to talk about that sort of thing, but did the Guild of Wet Nurses not communicate with the rest of the guilds or with your ruling council that this was happening? That there was an obvious trend?
well, it's hard for an outsider to understand. But let's say that I'm a miner, right? And I like people to know that business is good. I like people to know that if I offer them an apprenticeship, that they've got a long future ahead of them. Why you go around telling everybody that your business is failing, you know?
Wow.
Are any of these wet nurses still alive? They must be. 100 years is not long for you.
Afraid not. Not a lot of us around anymore.
Interesting.
They were old at the time, and I guess they were taking on less apprentices because there was less work to go around, you know?
That's true.
So they were struggling a wee bit, probably for longer than they let on. And then before we knew it, doors were closed, and I'll be honest, a lot of the younger folk coming through struggled a lot. You know, the lungs weren't quite as strong as the rest of us, and we kind of had a last true generation. And in fact, if you talk to the librarian, she'd probably tell you that we had almost a sundering or a decline. But we're still hopeful. We're still hopeful that it all, you know.
Oh, they're just going to magically, the dwarf race will repopulate itself.
Well, you've got to have hope, haven't you? What's
Wow.
we got?
Is this
Wholesom's got some idea. It's about how we can. I don't know how it works, but
Do you know if this is restricted to just your mountain or the other mountains as well, other dwarves?
I wouldn't know. I've never been.
the Dwarven King? Is he the king of all
You're
the
mad
mountains?
about this king, aren't you? You love him.
Is he the king of all the mountains, or the king?
Oh, aye, yeah. Well, his domain apparently reaches the three. Now, aye. So we have a more strong relationship. But that being said, we don't go quite to the depth we used to now we're older, and the connections aren't quite as strong from what I've heard. So probably best talk to the guilded members about that. But I hear rumours, you know, that we hadn't seen anyone for a long time. That's why I was mighty surprised that you guys had come from Orlek.
Where's Arnold?
It's the other mountain.
Oh, yes.
It's just
We're sorry.
Sorry.
a few,
Apologise.
a few hundred feet in that direction.
Right.
Home.
Mm.
Yeah, sorry.
Hey, they look like you a bit. Exotic, you know.
Exotic, yeah.
A bit different.
I really want to show you this hole.
Come on then, let's go. I'm waiting on you. You're the one sticking around stinking of cheese.
Yes. Let's go.
And with that, we should probably take a
Can
very
we?
small break, roughly 8 of your Earth minutes measured in this distance. And then we'll be back. for more Dungeons and Slash or Dragons.
That is the wrong scene.
Oh, he's pressed the wrong button.
Just can't get the staff. Hey, about bigger stickers. Had a dear friend called Bigger Stickers from Rome. I won't act out the whole scene, but it's a classic. Welcome back, everybody.
No, I want the scene.
So Skatorlum goes back into the mining guild, gets a very fine-looking pickaxe, probably too ornate to be just a regular pickaxe. The haft is made of some kind of dark stone, and it has this very wide blade, kind of wider than you expect for a pickaxe. It's probably kind of 4 foot across. It's a huge piece, and it does have runic work on the outside. This is definitely kind of a master crafted item. Right, should we get going then?
I'm ready.
Right, I'll grab my key and then we'll get going. She pulls out an ornate key. Well, she goes back to the guild, comes out with an ornate key on her chain. And you sure we've been invited, eh? I'm not going to go. Hey.
Ash will complain, but we've been.
that's
Holstallen has given us permission.
Absolutely, come on then. She will, unless you stop her and take her through the guild entrance, she'll go back through towards the main entrance.
Nobody's in the guild, are they? Was
No, nobody's
No,
around.
no, she
Yeah,
can
we'll
get,
just go through then, yeah.
If she can get that door open, if she can go through, we'll go through that way.
Cool. She puts the key in the lock. It unlocks. You notice as she goes through, she puts it around the neck and passes through the front door. She waits for you all to come in. Unless you stop her, she'll close the door and lock it. She'll then do the same on the secondary door. I won't waste time explaining it. You've heard about this before, but she'll go through the secondary door. I haven't been here in some time. Isn't that marvellous, don't you think? I wish I could have been gilded, you know, but it's just not my time. Miners, they have a place in the world, and I think we have to accept that. She closes the door behind her and locks it. Right, why didn't you show me to this hole?
Here's a big one. To the hole.
You're all very, very well up on this, on locking all the doors.
Aye, you gotta keep things safe, and you gotta be careful now.
From who exactly?
Well,
I mean, there's like 6 of you in this entire mountain.
that may be true. But what's mine is mine. And what's yours is mine, you know what I mean?
Yes,
You
right.
gotta be careful now. Especially with the commoners about. You know.
Hang on. How many commoners are around?
Well, no, I haven't been. I'm a gilded member, you know, we don't go there.
Yeah, we should probably go at some point.
So, when everybody we've spoken to has said that there's like only a handful of you left, that they're referring to just the
We don't
the
count
gilded.
the commoners now. Why would you do that?
Yeah, there's like a whole thing.
Do they? Oh, sorry.
Because we've not seen any of those groats before. The animals that they eat and all that jazz.
Well, yeah, I kind of figured that was all being stored somewhere, but
No, they used a word for like, it wasn't the common, but it was like the something where all the commoners live, which is meant to be trash.
Back in the beginning, wasn't it?
Yeah.
No. Do they have wee bens, the commoners? Or are they afflicted with the same?
Wouldn't know, I haven't
curse?
been. And
Maybe
frankly, I'd be happy if we stopped talking about it.
Are they that bad?
We're gilded for a reason. We take our apprentices. Aye, to be sure. That's it. And we haven't had a great need of apprentices right now, and if you haven't noticed, business isn't exactly booming.
We'll be in a minute. Down the hole.
Oh,
Exactly.
you're gonna-
You're speaking
Walk
the
round
language. Let's get down, shall we?
Probably
Now, it's been a while. Bit rusty. I'd like to get swinging, if you know what I mean.
Oh, you're gonna be swinging.
Oh, good.
It's the only way down the hole.
That's fine. Holes never worried me before.
The only way down the hole
Scaffolding, I imagine.
is, you know, that big magnet you talked about.
Aye, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's on the end of a chain.
Right. Aye, yeah, I remember the
And-
chain.
To be lowered down on that is the only way down. It's a long way down. Like, really long way down. You might think it's a long way to the shops, but that's just small potatoes compared to this.
Do they know what potato? They have potato.
They must have
They have
potatoes.
potato.
mashed
They're dwarves.
potato.
They know about mash.
Yeah, they have potato. That's right.
No, I'm not a stickler for the rules, but it doesn't seem particularly safe. But for phylactery jade, I could go and tickle.
Have you never used elevators?
Oh, aye, yeah, we could do
You
that.
think of it as a open elevator.
Seems dramatic. Let's
Well,
go
it
and
was.
take a look.
It was when we went down. That was dramatic.
Is there a brake to your device?
A brake?
A brake, yes.
We don't really need a brake, do you? It's a magnet. You just use it for attracting metal from a long way down, bringing up ore, that kind of thing.
Fire it off, do you, and kind of stop it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Why would you? It's for bringing ore up from the ground. What do you need a brake for?
Just to slow its
It is
descent.
suspended, so as it won't suddenly crack under the weight, because we found it broke the gear. If you
Yeah.
just the weight of the thing,
Yeah.
you know, so it does slow slightly.
Oh, yeah.
But I've never ridden it before, because frankly, that'd be mad.
Can we ride it all the way down? Will it stop at the bottom?
Very
Without killing
suddenly,
us?
yeah.
Oh, very suddenly.
Yeah, the end of
okay.
its chain length, but I
Yeah.
doubt the hole's that big.
Yeah. I don't know. These guys been down on it.
The chain doesn't reach all the way to the bottom.
Let's go and see
It's
this
a
hole.
long
shall we?
way.
Let's go and have a look.
We've talked about the hole a lot.
You
Yeah.
really smell.
Yeah.
You really smell. You're leaving dirty footprints everywhere as well. Somebody's got to clean that up.
Footprints. something
You know.
to do with his foot.
It's just a matter of time. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Hey.
What is unclean can be cleaned.
That is true.
Yeah.
As a miner, I understand that very well.
Grazie.
Come on then.
Right.
Look at that.
That away.
Travel down a large hole. Somebody swinging from a magnet. What the bloody hell is this? What have you
Told
guys
you it was
been
a-
up to?
Told you it was a big hole. You wouldn't
It's a
believe
big
how far
hole.
down
It's
that
not
is.
the hole I'm talking about. Where's Orshaw dangling from that magnet?
Yeah.
Is he asleep?
He does appear to be asleep. Yeah. Well, when we left him, he was screaming blue murder.
He is old and it's quite late.
And it rocks in the wind.
It
Yeah.
does.
Looks like it does look quite peaceful actually.
Yeah.
There is rising air coming out of this hole. There was kind of deadened. You didn't feel any wind in the cabin, but you do feel rising. Oh, it's been a while since I felt that on my skin now. Marvellous.
Yeah, he tried to swindle us. Just want to make that clear. So in the future, if you ever have any dealings with him, don't trust him as far as you can fly.
Oh, I knew that already, but most of us swindle each other around here. It's kind of what we do.
Yeah, it's not cool. It's not cool where we come from.
Interesting. Long code of honour, do you, while you swim through garbage?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Just because the smell doesn't mean I'm not honourable.
You look like a hot mess. Frank.
Let's go down this hole.
Yeah.
Come on then, let's go and see the product and we'll talk terms. What are we going to do with him?
Down the
Just
hole.
leave him on here. We'll drag him off when we're done.
You sure?
Yeah, he's not going anywhere.
Oh, is someone staying at the top?
Someone's going to have to operate the crane.
Yeah.
Oh, I can operate the crane.
Somebody else is
no,
going to have
I
to
quite
operate the
trust
crane.
you though. Quite like you.
Well, last is Ash armour. I mean, he can operate the crane for a cut, can't he? But,
I think
I will encourage him to operate the crane.
yes. I will go.
No, I'm not gonna be funny, but this isn't the safest of operations now.
No.
And I'm not exactly partial to the guy, but you have hung him over a pit for a prolonged period of time. To put your life in his hands seems a little bit dim-witted, if you don't mind me saying. But this is your
I
adventure.
do
your
not trust him.
I'll stick around and stow him.
Now that sounds like a better way of getting to do what you want.
Trouble is, by the time you get round to stoating him, we'll be heading to the bottom of the pit at terminal velocity.
Be a good stow in though.
No.
Why don't we get the other dwarf? The slow one up the stairs.
Do you know, it took me about 12 to 15 minutes to lug this thing up. It's going to take him 6 hours to get here, probably 3 days to wind us up. We'll be there forever.
Well, let's at least notify him we're down there.
Yeah, I think we should get. Oh yeah, While that's on, I'll retrieve ash armour from the end of this.
Okay.
When we get
How are you going
in
to
it.
do that?
Well, I'm hoping that the crane just comes above surface.
Yeah, you do
and then
notice
I
that
can
you
just
can pitch
I
him.
can
Yeah.
pitch him over to the flat, and then we can potentially prize him off.
Yeah.
No,
Or-
just switch the magnet off.
Yeah. We'll
Hang
turn
him-
off
hang
on
Are
him-
that.
you wearing any metal?
Oh yeah, probably yeah. I would.
Well-
Yeah.
Just swing him round.
Funnily enough, this magnet does seem, from what you've noticed before, because you've stood around it, stood to the side of it, it does seem highly directional.
That's
It's
convenient.
Unidirectional, because that's how magnets work.
Fantasy magnet.
Yeah.
It's a magic net.
Magic net.
They have made monopole magnets.
I know.
Well, not technically monopole, but on the same surface. So
Yeah.
yeah, they just magnetise one face rather than both.
Doors are pretty clever, you know.
Yeah.
They
but
could make a directional
you
magnet.
can't break the flux lines. It doesn't make any sense physically.
You can channel
Anyway.
them though.
You can put life into another object, though.
But you can put life into another object.
Yeah.
And you can teleport.
And,
Yes.
and at least 50% of us in this room can do magic.
Yeah. But the magnet thing, that's
So
what
the
we're getting
magnet
hung
thing,
up.
that's where we're going to get. There's already one of us is already hung up.
You
on
can
a
make
magnet,
another
so-
dimension in a bag, but you know, magnet only works in one direction. That's where we draw the line, Wizards of the Coast.
Yeah.
That's where we
Organic
draw
web
the
shooters.
line. Yeah.
See?
I'm
Right.
just saying I'm uncomfortable. I'm uncomfortable with the concept of it.
Well, we don't have to get. This is the point.
The
We don't
flux lines
have.
go up, but where did it go? You know,
We don't have to get anywhere near the magnet. All we have to do is swing the crane around. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And
And then
then just
Dangle
turn
him
it
If you're just
Over.
going to dump him in a heap, I mean, I could do that.
dangle him over the solid ground and switch the magnet off.
off. Let's do it, man.
Right.
Shut up.
And stort him. First bit of lip, mate.
So,
Stoating.
wind the thing up, swing it round, turn off the magnet.
It works perfectly. What the only surprise that happens is he doesn't seem to wake up. You swing him
drop
over, and the
8
magnet
foot
is
off the
there's a
magnet.
huge amount of weight behind this thing, so it's got a swing to it. He drops down, he clunks onto the floor because he's wearing full plate mail. He's probably fair. It's masterwork plate mail, so he seems fairly well suspended in there. Doesn't seem to wake up at all. Just continues
Still
sleeping,
snoring.
still snoring, sleeping on through.
No harm, no foul.
If you want to go down, I don't mind operating the magnet.
All a dream.
We might need everyone. Elantrix is going to run over to Old Slow Man.
Yeah,
Holston.
not Holston.
Old grey man.
Maybe yes, Holston. Yes,
Yeah.
that's Holston. Yes,
Holston.
Yes, Holston.
Pills.
So you make lager.
She's going to run it while this debate's going on about what to do with the magnetised dwarf. She's going to run up
Holston pills.
and run up
Dollar bills.
to his door and tell him what we're doing.
Okay. You walk in.
Yeah,
The door's locked.
she will try and garner attention through shouting or windows or any of the above.
You hear a very quiet voice go, "I'm just coming!
Oh no.
Mind yourself now!"
Oh no.
Clank.
Hello, Holston.
Clank. Door! Just, I'm in my pyjamas!
That's fine.
Stone pajamas.
Clank. I'm getting there, just give me a moment. Some time passes. You get increasingly impatient. You hear a key turn in the lock. The door opens about 6 foot and there's a chain keeping the door shut. It's a very intricately made chain, made out of some dark iron. He's wearing grey pyjamas with a black stripe, and he's actually got a big hat on that kind of leans over to one side. And he's got a candle.
Wee Willy Winkle.
Yeah. Oi!
Scrooge.
What are you doing here? It's very late.
Hello, Holston.
Hey there.
We
Did
are...
you want to come in?
No.
Are you
No,
sure?
certain, yes. We are heading down to the
What are
bottom.
you doing in the middle of the night?
We're heading down the bottom of the hole.
No,
No.
you're gonna go now, are you?
Yes,
Well,
we
you've
are.
wasted a short amount of time.
That's a fair observation.
No, you left here just after dinner. I thought you would have gone and had a quick peep.
Yes.
You're just going down now.
We're going to go down now.
The elves take their time. That's what I like about you. You know.
We have already been down once. We saw
Have you?
a lot of the jade.
No way.
I've been told it's the jade, the filigree. Jade
That'll do.
filigree. Is that what you said?
Something like that.
Something like that.
No, I have no idea what you're talking about.
There's a lot of green stone down the bottom of there. We intend to bring up as much of it as you want us to bring up. And we also intend to bring up the life forge that you aforementioned.
Marvellous.
We're
And
gonna-
Ashon, is he still about, is he?
No, there's the problem. We need some help coming back up due to the fact that
Oh!
he's
okay,
become deranged.
Well, I did have my concerns.
Deranged.
I did have my concerns. I did keep telling him, look, you can't keep shooting down the hole now. Starting about the tune, making people nervous, you know.
Yes, I know.
Hmm.
I know.
Okay.
So, if possible, what we'd
Yes.
like is for you to let us back up once we've got this valuable possession of yours.
Okay, so, well, I'm in my pyjamas.
Yes,
If you give me a moment to get something on.
that's
No.
fine. We'll head down there as soon as you see any kind of notice from us. You can hoist us back up.
Oh, aye.
I'll shout, you can help him out, you can help him get dressed.
See you in a while. And she's
See you later,
taken
now.
off.
So you're gonna go down and...
Yes, already on my way.
Okay. Marvellous, I'll get there. The door shuts.
She'll return.
You do hear the lock turning.
I felt possibly needed.
And so you make it to the pit, the hole. You're all there, including Skatorlum. There we go, Skatorlum. Alright, so we're going down.
Yeah.
Marvellous.
How are we going to get down there?
It's a bit of a climb. You have to get on the magnet. Although I guess if we can move the crane, then everyone can just jump on.
Yeah, everybody can climb on the magnet.
Good elbow!
Now, how are we going to get the crane out there?
Yeah, who's going to move the crane?
You hear...
I will move the crane because I can climb. That makes sense.
And then who's going to let the
I can
magnet
do it.
down?
I'll just climb on down. You guys get down.
You could even climb back up quite easily, to be honest, couldn't you, if we get desperate?
It's no big deal.
So you're going to operate the mechanism?
Yeah.
Okay.
Meters down.
We didn't need the old man anyway. It's fine.
Okay. You do that. That's great. That's probably the best solution to
These
this
peanuts now.
situation. Because frankly, I didn't want to be standing right next to you on that magnet all the way down. So yeah, fine. Going off. Yeah. Okay.
Is there room for us all to stand on the magnet?
Yes, yeah, it's 10 foot.
Yeah.
What did I say previously?
Yeah, 10 foot
It's 20 foot
down.
hole, 10 foot across. Yeah, so you got enough room.
You're like, whoa, whoa.
Yeah. We'll
It is a
balance
little
it.
bit. It's a very heavy object, but it does pitch slightly
We'll
depending where you start.
balance each other out
There'll be a bit
after a
of
while.
comedy jumping, of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
Giggling.
Hey, wiggle.
Whoa! What have we done with matey boy?
He's asleep.
He's asleep.
Oh, he's still asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I'm debating
in a
giving him some
pile.
rope to
He's
tie him
asleep.
up so he can't. Just got to mess us up.
I'm tempted to push him down the hole when you guys are gone.
I'm sure Felix can deal with him if need be.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of murder, but he's also not very nice.
You have to try everything once, don't you?
Yeah.
All you got to do is run up to him and smother him. It will suffocate him.
Because I'm stinky, or
Because you're stinky.
oh, okay. You're not just like just swallow him.
Well, that's always an option.
Put fingers up his nose, pour over mouth.
I'll just wake him up.
Yeah. I'm gonna let you guys down.
Okay, let's do this.
I'm going to hold on.
There,
That's
I'm
I know what happened last time.
Yeah, you're gonna hold him to the
I'm
chain.
holding on.
Holding on.
Holding on.
Yeah, how are you gonna let him down? You're gonna do bit at a time,
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
Oh.
Felix isn't an idiot.
He's like, stand alive.
And as he releases the tooth to the wheel, a tooth of the wheel isn't enough for one full chain link to come through, so it does have this lovely kind of smooth motion as you're going down. And it's relatively slow, so I will ask the question of, how deep is your pit? How far are you going? Are you going the whole
Yeah,
way?
I'm gonna go the whole way down. Go in the direction we went before. Remember the rocky bit.
What, you mean down?
No, but you have to choose the left and the right.
Yeah.
Choose the same one.
Yeah.
Cool. So you go down. I will skip through this because you've heard it before. But you were going to pass two openings. One is lined with sharpened wooden stakes that
Yeah.
point outwards.
Yeah.
Oh, that doesn't look so good now. Looks like there might be a bit of an
Stopping-
infestation there. That would be extra.
It looks like they're trying to stop something from getting in.
Aye, looks like there might be something living down there. Now that's probably danger pay. I'll be honest.
I
Feels a bit.
think you're probably going to be well recompensed. For
Oh,
this.
good. Very good. Keeps going down. So that's roughly the 200 foot, 300 foot mark. Keeps going down. Oh, it is a bloody long way now you mention it. You can see the air is getting a bit thin. I'm glad your friend's not here. Oh, this reminds me. You probably don't have the lungs set for it, you might, but... Oh yeah, that's good. Finally get the juices flowing, you know. Goes further down. Quite cold down here. It's quite strange. Normally it's a bit warmer under the crust now.
What was it?
Goes to about 450 feet. You pass this opening that has the cobwebs all on the outside. Oh, definitely an infestation down there now. That's probably a bit more danger pay, I'm afraid. That's probably a little bit more now. Depends what's down there, but I'm not going in if you don't mind. I'll keep that very much alone.
Yeah, I'm quite
Keeps
happy to
going
not go
down.
in there.
Eventually, you hit a solid surface, the whole thing plunks, and the magnet starts to tilt again on either side, almost like you've hit some kind of teetering point. I assume you're in a direct way,
Yes,
the
we'll
same way as
get
before.
everybody to slightly get over to one side so that we go down the right side.
The
of
magnet slams down, and you're all holding on.
Hold on tight. Hold on tight.
You are surprised how much Scotorlum is okay with this. You know, she just seemed very well seasoned with digging under the earth. She seemed to grab onto the chain fairly effortlessly and ride it downwards. Grates down the stone. There's this big pool of water, and then there does seem to be a seam of phylactery jade that juts out with like formed crystals that kind of comes out. Oh, by the ancestors, that's quite a lot.
At the moment it hits the end stop,
Which it will do just as it,
before the
just like a
water.
foot away from the water pool. It will
Felix
hit
will
and stop.
start climbing down the equipment at 20 foot every 6 seconds. It's going to take him a few minutes to get down there.
In a few minutes. Well, you can hear the chain. The chains are incredibly heavy. They're kind of a foot large, I think I said last time, and they're clanking together, so you can hear it. Right. I can see why you called me.
Told you there was a fair bit
Very
down
important stuff now. Okay, so.
there. Enough to recompense you for your efforts.
Oh aye, yeah, I'm quite sure. The finder's fee is definitely going to be worth it. Enough time passes that eventually we'll join said group.
Hello.
What's that smell? Oh, Felix is on his way down.
Penetrating through the darkness.
Smell arrives.
And have we all got dark vision, by the way?
Nope.
No.
Yeah.
You'll have to lie torch down.
Oh.
I'm afraid.
That's fine.
That might not be such a good idea.
Yeah.
Never mind.
I'm just going to be a burden on everyone.
No, light a torch. No, that's fine.
Like,
It's gonna
Where am I?
burn with a funny.
Can someone rope me? Have you got a rope?
I think I've got
Do
it.
you mind getting your rope a little dirty?
If the torchlight gets anywhere near Felix, it's gonna burn with a bright green flame.
He's going to go for a little swim.
oh,
Absolutely.
Yeah, and
Splash around.
Try and get rid of this crap.
Yeah. Are you being noticeably loud and splashy?
No, he's been very quiet.
Very
Because
quietly.
last time he was down here, he saw a weird white light in the water and he doesn't
He
want to attract
He
that.
did just that.
Yeah.
He did just that.
I'm pretty sure something lives down here, so I'll be pretty quiet.
Lives down here, you say?
Yeah, like a
What
white
in the
light
water?
thing, yeah.
No, that'll be damage pay as well, I imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Should we-
danger pay
look,
for that as well.
As long as we get our finder's fee, as long as we get our 10%.
10%, aye.
We need more than
Oh, I
10%.
heard it was 20.
We can't be giving the king a morsel while you walk off with the pie. Otherwise, you might as well be the king.
No, it is a lot, but there's a lot of danger pay.
I mean,
So we can't go as high as 20 now, can we? If I get eaten on the way back up, it's not going to be worth
well,
nothing
we'll
to know.
make sure that doesn't happen.
I'm gonna
You
hit
can
it.
make sure of it, can you?
Yeah, we
Oh,
can
we'd be
guarantee that.
fairly good at making sure things die if anything attacks you.
Can I hit it with a warhammer? I want to see if she's actually worth a pence.
Hit the phylactery
Yeah,
jade.
not like right in the middle of it. I don't want to smash it to pieces. I just want to see if I can clean a chunk off.
Oh, but the ancestors, no, don't do that.
I'm hitting it. Don't care.
Don't
Stop.
do that.
It's getting. I'm striking.
Yeah,
Can I strike?
absolutely.
You're about to devalue it.
I don't care.
Mate,
Well, we're about to
we were
bat.
told it shatters really bad.
Was it?
Yeah.
It's alright. Well, we'll find out now.
So it's like a large stone, a large crystal that
Yeah.
comes out. It's almost like
It's like 2 round crystals at the bottom.
yeah.
it's a large kind of geometric shape, and then there are probably smaller shard-like geometric
Yeah.
shapes. And there just seem to be a seam below it, but it kind of teeters away. You don't know how much is below the earth, but it's definitely this
The big
large
bit.
object
Well,
coming
so
out.
yeah, I'm only going for a shard. Just a small
Smash
piece,
on the
just to see if it. Yeah, see what it
you
breaks.
hit it, and can you roll damage?
Yeah. Well, what do you need me to do? For... Ooh, there we go. Donk. It's a powerful 10.
Powerful 10. Yeah, you will hit it.
Yeah.
It hits with some force. You feel you're expecting it to pass through like glass.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And you do feel something reverberate up your arm. You're a strong individual,
yeah.
right? But it hits with some force. But as you hit it, it's almost like you hit it and the warhammer stops dead.
Yeah.
And then the whole thing shatters.
Okay.
Shatters like it's brittle into kind of small
Yeah.
pieces. Oh, for the love of God, did you do that?
I mean, I just wanted to check.
It's very hard to force this stuff. You have to carve it in a very special way so the light doesn't go through it.
I mean, you keep trying to mug us off with all the money, so I was just checking that you're actually worth it. Because your fee keeps going up, but if I could just dig it up.
It's very
But-
delicate. I told you that already.
But I know, but people always lie in the
Well, you're
trade.
mad.
don't they? That's rule number 1 of the trade, isn't it? No matter what the job is, you walk through the door, you look at it, and you go,
No. What it is,
That's
is
rule
no
number
matter what
one.
the job is, make sure you're really good at doing it.
I will
So
admit,
that when you get taken down to the middle of a pit, you can charge people a bloody fortune. That's the rule.
I will admit, I can't. Yes, we can't do this without you. But our fee's got to stop climbing. We better get digging.
So, you want 20%?
Yes.
I'll give you the 20% if you make sure I don't get eaten on the way back up.
You won't get eaten on the way back.
If I have to fight my way out of here, it's 10.
You won't get eaten on the way
If I have
back.
to fight a single thing, it
Yeah.
doesn't have to have big pointed teeth. Even if it's a little wee thing. If there's any kind of danger down here at all, I'm out. 10%, that's all you get.
That's fine, but of course we'll be deducting damages as well.
Well, not that damage, no.
Not that damage, no, just any damage that we should sustain.
Emotional or physical?
Okay, so
Shut up
that
and keep
seems
smashing.
fair.
That will be fair.
Yeah. Pay you up for your own damage. If I get a bite of anything, then 10%.
Not a problem.
So we obviously need a fee to help you carry this back up as well.
Oh no, labour is included. It's not.
Labour is not included in this
It has
contract.
to be. Come on.
So you can carry up what you can carry, and there's going to obviously be a fee if you want the rest of it.
No. We'll put it on the magnet. It'll be alright.
On the magnet?
Aye. Lynch it back up. Unless you want me to go and put up scaffolding, which I can do.
What's that?
Well, that'll cost you probably be 100 gold every 10 feet.
Is that magnetic? Is it magnetic?
Oh no, on top. You know, like you and I.
Oh
Lift it
yeah.
up. If you want it on the cheap, like.
Yeah, but we're bringing it up, aren't we? We got our boy Felix is going to wield it up. We ain't going nowhere unless we lift it
Ah,
up.
but the crane belongs to me, you see.
Yeah, I know, but you've loaned it to Ash Armour.
Ah, but he's not getting a cut.
This is
Exactly.
surprisingly realistic negotiation.
Unfortunately, the winch operator belongs to us.
Yeah.
He's the critical piece.
Yes.
Well, okay, so that seems fair. So there's a
Also-
small fee. And you could stop me. That's a fair point. So,
Is that 10% or 20%? Like, is that before or after tax?
oh, we don't have to pay tax, don't worry about
That's
that.
perfect.
Dwarves
I like,
don't do tax.
I like down here.
No, there's no tax down here.
How does the king?
We pay our own way around here, if you know what I mean. No paying for the meal for you and paying for the meal of the guy behind you now.
How does the king make his money then?
Well, he's good at what he does. Good at being king, you know.
King
Yeah.
Okay.
No, pays well, does it?
Yeah.
Oh, aye, aye.
There's a gold coin per kinging.
Is he clean now?
Felix.
Who's the king? How did you know about that? Yeah, you're relatively clean. Can you make me a stealth roll, please?
Oh goodness.
Bear in mind you're splashing a lot of fatty, viscous substance into the water. which probably will have no ill effect.
19, 16 plus 3.
Nice.
You're surprisingly quiet in the splashing around and getting washed.
Done a chum bucket in there.
Yes, it looks a little. Does look a bit chummy now you mention it.
And he's going to like wring out his
Yeah, it is a bit chummy.
Good bit of bait though that we've left on the surface.
He'll take
Bit of bait.
his canvas coat off and his hat off and he'll
Yeah.
clean them out. And,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wriggle them around in the water. You know.
Yeah, it's tail.
Like
Can
a
someone
big
squeeze
fin.
my tail out, please?
I'm not touching any part of
Gotta
it.
wring it out.
Yeah, you got it really.
So now we've replaced the smell of mouldy cheese with the smell of wet dog with some mouldy cheese on.
There's no moldy cheese.
No mouldy cheese,
There's
except
no
for the mouldy cheese that's floating on the
Yeah, don't
surface
worry
of
about
it.
that.
So if I get out safe, we're talking 20% plus your damages.
Plus our
Labour
extraction fee. 5% for extraction.
No, I'm not a greedy dwarf. Okay, so how about we waive the extraction fee and we call it 25?
Sounds a little greedy.
25 each.
25% each. There's 5 of you. Maths isn't your strong point, is it?
I'm just testing.
I think 35 would be fair. 35 to us.
We didn't even come here for money.
We didn't know 35 to us, but we need to offer the king value, don't we?
Yeah.
We can't be giving.
You're going to give it to the king.
Yeah, because the king should always have the most valuable. You know, there was once a Nintendo Wii that was gold that was given to Queen Elizabeth II.
No.
She had a golden, yeah, like an
Lizzie had a
actual
golden-
gold-plated Nintendo Wii. Anyone in the world, royalty. They deserve the best.
Is that going on eBay?
It went on eBay, yeah. It
Oh.
went on eBay a couple of years ago. Yeah, it was just gifted to her. So I
Oh,
don't know
she
if she's
was-
ever
she was
played
a bit
it.
short.
Queen popped it on eBay.
I don't think the Queen did that.
What's a trader rated?
Yeah. But no, yeah, we can't. Yeah.
Good service, but the postage took a while.
Look, I think 25 is fine.
Do you think 35?
30
30
seems
then.
too much.
30 then.
25 and she helps us get the forge out.
Okay, we forgot
What's
about the
that
forge.
you're talking about
Yeah.
now?
There's a forge down here apparently.
A forge?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, life forge. You
We
heard of
think
that?
it's down the other side.
Yeah. We should probably go check it out. Actually.
Hmm.
I've no idea what that looks like.
Well, yeah, we would.
Do you want a wee bend?
Oh, you do.
Maybe this might help.
Seems like high praise, but I can give it a look.
Let's get some of this ore out. I'd like to see you work,
Okay.
and then we'll go from
Right,
there.
stand back, let me do it. I'm a bit sleepy now and I've had a bit to drink. So it's not going to be my best work. But I'll give it a go. It's going to take me some time though. Maybe you guys should make sure I'm going to get out of here safely or go and do something. It's a bit weird to have you all stood around watching. Some kind of ore perverts or something.
Well, we have to find
Or
this forge.
perverts.
We could find the forge.
We could.
Yeah, we
Can we climb up the side of the...
She almost immediately pulls out this pickaxe and she starts wailing on the earth, like repeatedly.
So she just wails.
Shattering
Yeah.
But no, dig into the earth, and it is surprising how deft she is to this thing, given her age.
She's not hitting the crystal.
No, she's digging. She almost comes within inches of it, but just
Yeah.
slams this thing into the ground, and is repeatedly slamming this thing into the ground.
Oh, I went for the crystal. That was my problem.
It was obvious.
Do we think there's something in the water? I'm saying this a little.
No, no,
harsh.
they definitely.
What?
Oh, okay.
There's
What?
No,
There's
I'm
something in
trying
the
to
water?
specifically say this so she doesn't hear.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, there definitely is.
Okay, well, she might get eaten anyway.
Yeah,
So.
and light is attracted to light, so it might be nice. It might be like, oh hey,
Yes, now you've left the fat bait.
yeah, I'm your friend. Or it might be like, oh hey, you're dead now.
We might be ending up with 100%.
Oh, that sounds.
Let's see how it goes.
Yeah.
So, is it possible to climb up the side of the...
You can't. More of a scramble than a climb.
Yeah.
It's kind of 45-degree angle, so you're kind of going to be on all fours. But it is rocky, and it's not hewn in any way, so
We should
you can
rope
get it up to the peak.
to each other.
You can do that.
What do we call that? What kind of climbing do we call
Trad.
it? Trad. That's I knew we began with a T, but I couldn't remember what
Trad
trad.
climb.
All right,
Trad.
we'll climb up and see if we can get down the other side and see if we can find this... this...
Deal.
Yeah.
It's probably an endless pit.
So spider webs one way and spiky things the other.
No,
Is
no,
that
yeah, but that's
Well
way
above.
up
Okay.
there.
Epic music.
It's reaching
I'm not going to make you roll for it. If you're tying off on each other and trying climbing it, it's a scramble. It's not a sheer rock face. You are going to be able to make it up. There'll be the odd slip here and there, but you can make it up. And you make it up to basically a pointed ridge. This it goes up towards a pointed ridge and then quickly falls almost the equal and opposite down the other side. You can't see very far because it's very dark down here. It's pitch black, which if you have dark vision is 20 foot, I think.
What, 20
yeah.
foot? We got a torch lit though.
Not at the moment, I
Yeah,
don't.
I
Oh, you did like
I
it.
did like that.
Oh, if you've got a torch lit, then you'll be able to see the distance of a torch, which is
30 and 60 dim, isn't it?
yeah,
Invisible
30, 60 dim. We'll
Is
go
that
with that.
right?
We'll go with
So
that.
many
Could be.
goblins.
So many bees.
You
So
know Moria?
Yeah.
It's that.
but more of them.
Yeah.
Moria of them.
Swing the torch down, just endless glowing little red eyes going off in the distance.
An insurmountable number, isn't there? It's a sheer face. It's not sheer at all. There's a rocky crag that goes down at a 45-degree angle. As you're going down, nothing immediately. It's about
Nothing grabs you.
nothing grabs you, and there's kind of 150 feet. You're kind of trying climbing and moving down, and you keep going and you're going down.
2020.
You 2020. You get down to the bottom, and it is obvious to you. You don't have to roll for this at all. That this area has caved in at some point. You don't know when. You don't know how long ago it was, but it's caved in. There's obviously like large rocks that kind of obscure your view. Can anyone make me any kind of check to identify rock?
Stone cunning!
Yes!
Can we actually
Do
use
it.
stone cunning?
Do you have it?
Yeah, I do have some dwarf. Yeah, dwarf and stone cunning. Can't remember what it does.
I haven't seen that since Lost Mines of Fandelver.
Yeah, the good old days. Back in the good
features
old
and
days.
traits.
You were a Wesley Debenham.
I am a Wesley Debenham, but I am, yeah. Sorry, yes. But for some reason, I just like stones. It's just like
But you can't lie, remember that.
yeah, that's true. Where is it?
Luckily, these stones are very cunning.
Yeah.
All I get to do is add double my proficiency
Imagine looking at a stone.
on a history
look back
check.
at you.
Cunning.
Yeah.
You make any roll, just the knowledge you'll gain is slightly different. Than
Well, I've gone for a history for the stone cunning,
Cool.
double
No worries.
proficiency, which is where's proficiency on here? So that would be a 25
25. Well done.
for history of this mud
Throughout your past, you will have heard many conversations.
on the intertransducinal. Yeah,
Yeah, you've heard many conversations. Some of those were dwarves having conversations and talking.
yeah,
They talk in Dwarven, which is probably why you know Dwarven.
yeah.
They talk in Dwarven, you got used to what they were saying, and they have mentioned phalanxary jade. It's something you're aware of. It's some kind of material that was traded. They didn't do a lot of crafting in it themselves, but you know the elves were quite favourable of it.
Yeah.
There's more used in elven craft than dwarvish. However, the dwarves and some of the gnomes you've heard talk of something else, which in the dwarven dialect, the literal translation to common would be thunderstone. There are seams of thunderstone running through the ground here.
Cool.
Has anyone heard of that term before?
Antrix has,
Antrix
because
has.
it was at the gate by Stratocaza.
Well done.
Holst Dolan has also referenced it.
There you go.
He's referenced it with the jade tear and the
good.
life forge,
Yeah.
I believe, wasn't it? I wrote it down. Use the life forge to press life into stone. So the thunderstone and the tear of the fallen god was used, I believe, with the forge, wasn't it? Thunderstone was the energy, right?
Well
And,
done.
and the jade was the conduit. Was that right?
Well
Something
done.
like that.
There you
Yeah,
go. So there is thunderstone here.
Take notes. Yeah.
We take notes.
Well,
Got a
we
good
do.
memory.
I've got an empty book.
Can you make an Arcana check again with advantage because you have previous knowledge of thunderstone?
Just to double check about Thunderstone, previous characters, you know, when we had the high speed pursuit, was that Sparkstone or Thunderstone?
That was Sparkstone.
Sparkstone.
Yeah.
Different material.
27.
27. I'm going to have to give you this, aren't I?
Gonna have to, yeah.
You're going to have to tell her everything.
Thunderstone is used in several arcane devices that you're aware of. It's used by the gnomes quite commonly. It's used by presumably the dwarves, though you've never heard of this before. It's been used in other arcane devices that the elves have manufactured. It stores magic. is what it does. Not indefinitely, but for a period of time. If it's given some kind of arcane energy, it will store it for a period of time, and occasionally will pay back double. One of the reasons it gets its name Thunderstone is if it's struck by lightning, the next person to touch it will likely be struck by lightning. It's kind of a way of storing magic potential.
So this stuff, more or less valuable than the green stuff?
I completely failed to follow along. They're different stones.
They're different.
I see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
There's a Phylanctry Jade and the Thunderstone.
Yeah.
Two objects.
I probably don't know the value of the jade. I wouldn't think, but I'd suspect Thunderstone would be valuable to the elves. Yes.
I'd say Thunderstone would probably be the most valuable out of the two of them, right?
Or not necessarily the elves. Anybody.
The dwarves were using one as the conduit, but the other was the necessity, the energy for the forge. This is what. Yeah, this is probably the most essential part.
Well, I suspect they're both of decent value by the sounds
Oh,
of
of
it.
course, yeah. Can we dig it? Hit it with a hammer.
You can
Hammer hits
smack
you in the
into the
face.
ground,
Yeah.
but you are literally just hitting stone with a hammer. It would take you. It's not a mining
You
implement,
hit
right?
it,
So it's going to
the,
take
stop,
you.
the hammer stops and then flings it back at you. And just,
Double.
She's going to screw us over again with that bloody pickaxe as well. isn't she?
I'm a little bit concerned that the forge is in the water on the other side.
Do you think it's
yeah,
down there?
there is no sign here of a forge or a ruined house, half a ruined
So
house.
you will remember to refresh your memory.
And the
There's a
toilet.
little magazine here that I found. It's weird.
Oh, dirty. Is this 2002? In a bush.
To refresh your
Insane.
memory. At the top of the pit, there was the housing of a forge.
Mhm.
What you asked for originally was a set of bellows and a crucible.
Ah,
Crucible.
is there any sign of those down here?
What seemed to be.
Below.
Is there water here?
Always think of
There's the water here. No, there are.
Balloons.
There seems to be a cave in. Actually, while you're down here, you notice that the cold air you're feeling is coming through this collection of stones. So there's obviously some kind of further object, but it'd be impossible to get through. You imagine it's a cave in. There
Even
is
somebody
definitely
small
something.
would not be able to get through.
No, it's completely obscured.
Yeah.
If you were teeny, teeny, tiny, maybe, but it's completely obscured.
With the clip through.
Okay. Back to the jade.
Maybe
And
if we just keep jumping like in Skyrim, we'll like change.
Oh, you
our
can climb
direction.
any mountain
Yeah.
if you just repeatedly jump.
Yeah.
And by the time you get to the top, your agility will be 99 as well.
Amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we just no clip through?
Just pick up a bucket, walk to the wall, and just drop it. Out of bounds.
Not an option.
so,
I
of
guess we
those,
climb back the other way.
guess we go back where we came from.
Thunderstone.
And do we tell our acerbic dwarven friend about the Thunderstone?
I think it's worthwhile. Look, we're not dwarf miners. It's not worth keeping the secrets.
Okay. We might.
Does everyone agree?
We might have to swim down, and
It's not my decision.
we might have to swim down.
It's more value to offer.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of value already.
Yeah.
We've got an anvil. We've got the lens. We've got the book. We've got the jade. We've got a load of money.
All we need.
We add
is,
Thunderstone. He'll do whatever we want.
That's a really
all
good
we
point.
need is the bellows and the crucible, and we could be very, very popular.
Yes.
Which was the objective, wasn't it?
Remind me again why we're giving all this to the king.
To be very, very popular.
The king.
Yeah, why are we giving all this to the king?
I haven't told you.
Do you think
No, I
the king
have.
knows Goric? Do you think he knows Goric?
I don't.
Always over you right off though.
He's important, Goric is.
Shut up.
We understand it was the leaders of the four great kingdoms.
I can barely hear you. Can you turn that down a little bit, please?
Sorry.
Really appreciate it.
It's the echo in the cave.
There does seem to be a strange amount of background music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's actually an amusement park.
Yeah.
It's just a bit of atmosphere.
The leaders.
Yeah.
The cowl, remember the cowl? We talked of the cowl a few times on our journeys. Can be operated with 4 keys. We believe it's not a literal translation. We think it's instead a reference to the bloodlines of the 4 legendary leaders from the Osai, the elves, the horned elves, and the dwarves.
A bloodline that presumably is dying out.
It would seem so.
Pretty
So
cool.
we need to speak. Okay.
We understand it's the leaders of these kingdoms which created the cowl. And we therefore have hope that it's their descendants, those of pure blood, who have the best chance of wielding it once more. Now remember, we forget that we don't know what the cowl is. Where it is.
So if you're hoping that if we can present the king with enough loot, he can give us that information.
From all of the history that we've read and everything we've looked at, this is one of the most significant artifacts in the entirety of Asher.
More significant than Gorick?
It would seem so.
It'd be funny if the dwarf king turned out to be Gorick.
Well, do you think Gorick's more important than any of this, in all honesty?
It'd be funny
Gorek
if we gave
thinks he's more important.
Oh, he
than all
definitely
this.
is.
There we go.
He definitely is.
if we gave him all this stuff and then he returned it to us as non-fungible tokens.
The
You
Bureau's not after any kings or...
How do we know
Queens or
this
descendants?
yellow or this red snail shell that one of you has isn't the cowl?
know? It is a red snail shell and it is not yours.
He says while cleaning
I
gun.
don't think. I
It's
mean,
full of cheese.
Yeah.
it could be.
It sounds like the sea.
I feel like we're dismissing items too quickly.
The only tie we have to this device in any way is that understanding that these bloodlines were tied to the device somehow,
Okay.
and we know not how. The king
Just
may know where it is,
blood is red.
but if he doesn't,
Yeah.
having the king is one of the Augurs' goals.
What direction does the lens say to go in at the moment?
A fair question. She'll produce it and try and utilise it.
Yeah, you produce it. As you take the lens out, it seems to... You've noticed ever since you've been using this thing, it seems to dither, right? And actually, for the first time in a long while, because Elantrix is wizened and kind of knows these things, you feel this spike of frustration at this device in front of you. And it doesn't seem to come from you, it seems to come from within you. This kind of frustration that this thing is not behaving the way it should. And it seems to erratically flick, like it has been doing, from somewhere around here to somewhere else. And the somewhere else direction, you don't have a compass, so you don't know which way is up anymore or where you are, but it seems to kind of always seem to retract to the same location. But after it settles down, it seems to point upwards.
Oh, good.
But previously it pointed down, didn't it? So are we right to assume it's somewhere between the top of this hole and the bottom of this hole?
It's the spider tunnel, isn't it? It's going to be the goddamn spider
It seems
tunnel.
probable it's the spider tunnel. Or the spiky tunnel.
Well,
That gives us a... I feel much better about this. Gives us a direction. You're fire, you're something, you're a fire, I'm a fire. I think I'm a fire. We'll be
Right.
alright.
So, back to the Jade or up to see where the point is?
Was there another alcove
There was.
that we haven't explored down here?
No, not down here.
Okay.
What are the chances that Gorick might be up there?
High to
Okay.
Absolutely.
really high.
Gorick
Give a
is-
stoked in.
Gorick, there's a very high possibility
I mean,
that
I
Gorick
mean,
might
is he-
be in one of those tunnels.
I am here to see Gorick, and if we're not going to see Gorick, then I might have to just go, because I'm here to
I
see
mean,
Gorick. But-
You know, it's as
You know what? I think he lives up there.
it's as
Maybe,
good as
yeah.
it's a good a possibility as anything these days.
I heard Gorik's in the water down there. He's got a bright light on him.
as long as we're heading to Gorick, that's all that matters.
Eventually, if everything goes well,
Yes.
We will take the king to Gorick.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
Yeah, you're
Stick with us, chum.
If everything goes well.
And we get 25%.
Okay. As long as we get to Gorick, that's all that matters.
We're heading that way. Eventually.
Let's get hailing then.
Okay. And with that, that is where we'll end our session for this week.
Down in the hole.
Has anyone stepped in the poo?
Get in the hole!
You need to remind me of that next time. Because the poo is going to come back. You can't poop in a hole in my storyline and have it ignored for the rest of
Chekhov's
it.
pillow.
It will come back.
It's a
It will come back.
persistent poo.
Thank you very much for tuning in this evening, whether you're watching us live or on YouTube or however you take your media. We're not judgy. We're really not judgy. You take it how you like it. You take it how you like it.
Indeed.
I hope you enjoyed Rich not wearing any trousers. More of that action.
With enough support, we will get a camera under the table.
Yeah, we
We've
will
got to
get a camera.
on top of this
Oh, yeah, that's
chamber
true.
first.
But yeah, we are struggling at the moment. If I'm slightly in bad quality, it's because we had a drunken mishap. None of us. A camera was destroyed in the process. We don't drink, as you know. But the camera was destroyed in the process. But we have our best person working on it who's sat around this table partially clothed. So we'll, any time now. Anytime
Our
now,
best
we will
person.
have. Until said point, as we come back to say
No
hello,
one knows.
we have been. Rolling! See you next week!
Bottom of the hole.
Goodbye, we're at the bottom of the hole! See you later! It's been wonderful! You're great! Do that thing! See you later.